Stugotz is wandering around Radio Row, pointing at the young people, telling them they've got to dig deep. They spent too much energy in drinks and guest getting earlier in the week, and Stugotz is now, what are you calling yourself, the savvy veteran?
I am the cagey vet. I'm turning into Mad Dog right in front of our eyes, Dan. Hold it up for you. I tell you, I'm walking around. I see a lot of tired faces, a lot of people who think they can't make it through today. And what I'm telling them, I tap them on the fanny, and I say, listen, it's Friday, Radio Row, Super Bowl week. You got to dig deep. Yeah. Hand in the dirt. Let's go. Positive attitude. Get through today, and you get out of Dodge. That's what today is all about. It's getaway day, Danny. I mean,
he's not lying about tapping people on the fanny. He has slapped a couple of the players on the fanny as they walk away after interviews, and it's been really weird because they just look at him like, what are you doing?
I have not talked to you guys enough this week. I have not talked somehow to Jessica at all. I don't understand.
Same here.
Yeah.
I don't know where she went. She just ran off with the Golics, and we don't even hear from her. Like we can't find her, and she's at the Waste Management Open. I don't know what kind of place we're running around here, but we've got a line of people right now. Everybody you wanted to hear from at Radio Row, they are there. It's Tua, it's Myles Garrett, it's Stephon Diggs. It's an assortment of guests. God bless football yesterday just became a furnace of producing content out of nowhere. It's why you send them out there. You send them out there.
Not yet, Dano.
You tolerate what you have to tolerate so that you can get the furnace of content. They have talked to everybody, but I sense in the coverage, Billy, and I don't know if you sense this, it seems like Stugotz is getting legitimately both mad and jealous that whether it's Deebo Samuel or Jamar Chase, that you are becoming cool and he is less cool. The savvy veteran is being threatened by the cool youngster on the team.
Savvy veteran, do you have comment on that?
He's right. I mean,
why?
I don't know. Listen, I don't like what's going on here. Dan, we're at a cigar party last night. Billy dresses up, okay? He's got a suit on. He's got the button down, an extra button.
A kerchief. He had a kerchief.
Listen, and then I walk by the VIP room, which I'm not in, but who's in there? Billy Gill, shoulder to shoulder with Chris Berman. I mean, Boomer. And he's hanging out with Eric Dickerson. I couldn't even get in. I was outside the roast. Billy was inside. And so, yeah, of course I'm insanely jealous.
Did you
Billy's
talk?
become cool.
Did he talk to Boomer?
I don't know.
No, get out of here.
Shoulder to shoulder gives off like I'm talking to him.
Well, it was a packed VIP room, I will tell you that.
Yeah.
He had no choice.
Billy, what are the highlights? Juju has become a star. Everyone seems to love Juju as well. How is it that Juju and Billy and the young people, Stugotz, are knocking down or knocking out of the way the savvy Radio Row veteran? You own that place. Nobody can challenge you for that place.
Oh, no, I still own it, Dan. I don't care about, Deebo Samuel. I don't care if he thinks I'm cool. I don't care if Jamar Chase thinks I'm cool. I care that the youngsters here around Radio Row, that they find me cool. And you know what? They still find me cool, Dan. They do. They do.
Billy?
I've inspired a generation, Dan.
He keeps telling everybody that.
He keeps telling you're inspired by me. He's wandering around hitting athletes on the fanny and saying, hey, let's talk about something here. Are you inspired by me?
He is also someone that I've noticed goes around claiming to be mentors of people.
Oh, yeah.
Without them saying, like, yeah, you're my mentor. He's like, I've mentored, blah, blah, blah. And he names just all these people that he claims under his tree of mentorship.
Dan, I think you would be flattered as well if you were here, okay? Because what I am starting to get as you and I get a little bit older is, hey, been listening to you for a while. I got into this industry because of your show, because of you and your show, and it's been flattering. I've gotten it from a lot of people, and so I'm starting to feel a little bit like Christopher Mad Dog Russo, and I'm okay with that. I'm good with it.
But that sort of deflects away, that compliments you, and it gets away from what Billy was accusing you of, which is claiming mentorship of people you haven't mentored.
Oh, I mean, listen, I didn't know I was mentoring some of these people, but clearly Billy has seen it. Clearly I have. Just,
If Stu's talked to you, you're under his tree.
Yeah, it's not a direct mentorship. It's they've just watched the show, and they're trying to pattern themselves after me, and I'm flattered by that.
Mike, what are you laughing about? Because Stugotz is digging deep. Yes, he's crunching words. I don't know how much.
I'm laughing at his obvious slurred this morning.
I got hammered last night. I mean, I had 5 shots of tequila. I mean,
what were the highlights from the Jaws and Golic party, other than being shoulder to shoulder with Chris Berman? And if you're not talking to him and drinking with him, that just sounds unpleasant. That the act of being shoulder to shoulder with Chris Berman. I'm guessing you're sweaty. You're in an elevator. It's crowded. There's not a lot of room. He doesn't. He's space impaired. What were the highlights from last night?
Billy, why don't you start at the very beginning when we were walking in and I asked a ridiculous question as you walk into a cigar party?
Yeah, so Stugotz, we had to stop at Will Call and like pick up the tickets, and we had like this VIP like card thing that they gave us. So it's that with a +1. So we went, Stugotz, myself, Danny, and Juju went, and we're going to check in. And Stugotz says, hold on a second, I need a heater. So he goes and he's smoking a cigarette right outside of the entrance. And then he turns to the woman who's at the door, who was helpful with everything, and says, hey, is there any smoking in there? And I turn to Stugotz, I go, Stugotz, this is a cigar party. Like, yes, there's smoking in there.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju, at Batard Show. Are you surprised that Stugotz asked permission to smoke at a cigar party? He's impaired. The week has to have been hard. Marijuana's legal. Juju has been supplying everybody somehow because they sent him out as a gopher.
He's a co-op.
They already told the story on the air. We've already told everybody. I'm just repeating.
You're the co-op.
I'm repeating from public. I'm repeating from public record.
Jeez, Dan.
And Stugotz, we can hear it on you. But what do we have today, Billy? Because you just got done telling me, by way of hello and actively annoying me, hey, we got Tua. It's 8 minutes, and that Subway game is involved again. And
yeah, you gotta play the sandwich game, Dan.
Yeah.
And try not to go to Sad Town. And also, I was talking to Stugotz, I don't think I'm gonna ask him to autograph my jersey, even though the Sharpie is right here and I'm wearing his jersey. You know what I mean?
I'll ask him.
Do we ask him about Tuanon? Does he know about Tuanon?
No, what I have said here is Dan very much wants to speak to Tua. We only have 8 minutes.
No, I'm not doing concussion talk with Tua in 8 minutes. So if we only got him for 8 minutes, you might as well just spend the 8 minutes getting him to sign Billy's jersey, and I'll ask him sandwich questions. We
actually have 12 minutes. Figure 2 minutes, Dan. Clock management, okay? 12 minutes, okay?
12 minutes.
So 2 minutes we have to, use that for the Subway game, okay, which they're wheeling over right now.
The Subway game is arriving.
And then you got 10 minutes with Tua. Do whatever you want with him, okay? He's all yours. Billy and I will get out of the way.
No,
you have 10 minutes with Tua.
I don't.
Because
you
you
got to
want
work the
10 minutes with
sideline
Tua.
on this
We know
interview.
you do.
I would prefer, and we will have our meetings. We're just going to dump everything on the audience today. I don't even want to stop. I just want to go through and just as fast as we can, take every guest, their game shows, their sandwiches. Somebody throws ham in the air, and I just want chaos, and I'm willing to start that chaos with you guys just interacting with Tua and me just sitting here. Because in 12 minutes around a sub promo, like I wanted to argue legitimately with Stephen A. Smith yesterday. We were about to get into a good conversation, and
we sensed that.
And we couldn't have it because we had to do game shows and sandwiches, and I don't want to wreck it again because I know that people don't want anything but hijinks. So why? And we never got to your highlighted items in the Stephen A. book, Billy, which I still want to know. I want to know what
I haven't read the book yet.
Well, what'd you highlight though?
Nothing. I just say there's lots of highlights in here, Steve. This is great. This has inspired me to keep pushing through this industry. It's really motivated a generation, much like Stugotz. And
thank you.
You don't need to actually give any more details. He's pressed for time, just on the move. Is it too forward if I call Tua Oos and say, "What's up, Oos? How you feeling?"
No, you got it.
I think you should handle this. I think you should.
I do not think
absolutely
I should handle this.
not.
No.
Somebody please handle it.
Does anyone want to interview him? I'll interview him.
If it's going to be 12 minutes, I want to talk.
12 minutes is a lot of time, Dan.
Dan, seriously, he's all yours. We booked him for you.
Why do we not want to interview him? I'll interview him.
Think about it this way.
Let's cancel. Let's just bail on it.
Imagine if you were stuck in an elevator for 12 minutes. You'd be like, oh, my God, that was a really long time. Or if you were underwater for 12 minutes, you could drown in that time. You know what I mean? It's a long time, 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me, please, Billy, why it is when Stephen A. Smith came over yesterday, he gave a vigorous hug to Stugotz and then just looked at you and shook your hand?
Because no one knows who I am. I'm a nobody.
And I've inspired a generation. I mean, that's it. Cagey vet.
Mm-hmm.
Billy, this is not true, though. This is how you have been a mystery man, cool, not saying a lot in the shadows. And Stugotz has been getting so many questions from like Steve Levy saying, hey, have you bathed this week? That by being next to Stugotz, you're getting some of the energy. By not saying anything, you're mysterious. And I believe that your Q rating has gone up this week. Stugotz's has stayed the same. But I think it's why he's threatened by how cool you've become out there.
The old changing of the guard, Dano, is that what you're saying?
Feels like it, because there seems to be an active hostility in God Bless Football where he is jealous that athletes, that he's introducing you to athletes and that you're taking some of the shine and affection.
Well, I'm also not asking them for anything. Like,
Right.
I'm not telling them anything. I'm
good
not
point.
asking for their number after we're done. I'm not, like, pitching them things. I'm just like, hey, thanks, nice to meet you, whatever. And, like, and I've done this a couple times off air. I'm like, hey, good luck with the rest of your career, which I'm like, why did I say that? That's a weird thing to tell someone.
But are you saying that basically you're connecting with these people because you're trying to have a decent human interaction while everyone else is grabbing their wrist and saying, do something for me?
I think we're connecting in a mutual disinterest of speaking to each other.
Billy, we caught your interaction at the end with Seth Rollins where you were like, have a good career.
Yeah, good luck with the rest of your career.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a way to
So cool.
say goodbye.
I'm never going to see you again. We'll check back in at the end of your career and see if you remember that I wished you had a good one 17
good
years
career.
ago.
This guy is the coolest.
I'll never have the Kenny Chesney interaction again from a couple of years ago. Oh, man.
That was great.
Me and Kenny Chesney off air talking about biting our fingernails and just general anxieties. And then they're like, you got to go do Jenny McCarthy, Kenny. He's like, got to go. Nice talking to you. Then Stugotz got his number, and then he changed his number at the end of the year.
I actually texted him. I said, hey, do you want to pick games on God Bless Football every week? Because I thought he wanted to. No, that's what happened. And then he informed, or someone informed me, this is not Kenny. He has changed his number. And
Yeah.
so,
That was definitely Kenny, just texting that.
No,
no question. I
no.
totally agree with that.
No,
Yes.
no, I'll tell you this that I learned. Kenny Chesney, and whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm never going to see me again. Kenny Chesney every year changes his phone number and purges out the people who he doesn't want to stay in contact with him and just sends out his number to the people he does want to stay in contact with. And I've been told that because Golick has maintained a relationship with Kenny Chesney for years, and every year he gets the new number. So Stu's like 4 numbers behind.
Yep. That's happened to me a few times, Dan. It's happened with Kenny Chesney. It also happened with Dan Ugla. I mean, how about that?
Oh, you didn't, Dan Ugly?
Uggs. Yeah.
Lawrence Maroney.
Look at me,
Billy, can you tell us, because I really have, God Bless Football has done a kick-ass job here. You could get all of their coverage today. We're bombarding you with it. And Billy says there's more, so I don't even know
3
what's
more
going on.
episodes.
How many?
What?
3 more episodes.
Where? When? Just this weekend? Just days before the Super Bowl? You're just going to keep coming out all weekend?
Well, we're supposed to have 2 more like mini episodes, like the 30 to 40 minute range today. But I was going to do that right before we did this, but that Kevin Clark was a bit of a chatty Cathy and was preventing me from getting work done. So I'm going to have to maybe step out during Tony Khan or something to try to get those out, because after this, Dano, we got to jet to the airport and get out of here, because we gave ourselves a hard out today of like, hey, we have flights to catch. We got to be out of here by 12. And then we've scheduled 4 interviews between 12 and 1. So we're going to be here an extra hour.
Stugotz has said no to nobody. He is this is his.
We have a big one later, Dan.
His
Dan
wheelhouse.
Stugotz is really excited about this. We're going to break down the Super Bowl with Food God.
Excellent.
Kim Kardashian's friend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Bill,
That
Get
sounds
out of here,
so-
Dick Butkus. We need to talk to Food God about
That
this game
is
instead.
right. We kicked out Dick Buckus.
Wait, shh.
You gave
Five.
yourselves a hard out to get to the airport and then booked a bunch of interviews against it. That is just chef's
it's Billy.
kiss.
No, it's Billy and
Oh.
Stugotz. It can
Can't
be
say
messy.
no to the people, Dan. What are
can't,
we
yeah.
going to do? We're going to tell Trayvon Diggs no. We're going to tell Taylor Bisciotti no. We're going to tell Malcolm Jenkins no. We're going to say, hey, Carissa Thompson, no thank you. We have a flight to catch. We said, no, the plane will wait for us.
Billy, what I want to know is between being threatened by you and your Super Bowl coolness and being around Golick, what are you laughing about?
You could see what's going on here. There's just a giant Old Spice mascot, which is a stick of deodorant with sunglasses, a backwards hat, and a chain.
I'm so jealous.
That's Radio Row. I
turn on the
mean,
camera
really?
so they can see.
No, can you bring him over? Can you get him over? Or?
Well, mascots.
No,
don't
we
talk,
can't.
so-
Yeah, don't assume the deodorant stick's identity.
Swaggy Spice. That's his name.
Oh, it's
on the
called
back of the
Swaggy
jersey.
Spice.
Yes.
Well, that's Nick's
Oh,
back.
come
You
on,
can't
where
see.
is it?
You can't see Swaggy Spice.
Juju, put it on the poll, please. Are you
Oh,
allowed?
Juju has declared that he is lame, or she is lame.
Put it on the poll.
Juju has a beef with this mascot for some reason that's been going on for days.
At Batard Show, Juju, put it on the poll. Can you assume that the Old Spice mascot is a him? Yes or no? The question I was asking you is how jealous is Stugotz of how Golic is giant Golic things at the Super Bowl?
Good question.
What was the question? Was there a question?
Yeah, how is Golic giant Golic things at the Super Bowl?
Are you jealous, basically, that Golic is much bigger than you, not just in stature, but in, presence?
What
and
concerns
aura?
me about me is that Golic is 60 and I am 50, and Golic looks 10 years younger than I do. Yeah, that's the problem. It's a big problem too.
Billy,
10, huh?
if I
It's generous. It's really generous.
All right, 20, Mike.
I asked him today, did you shave before you came? And he told me that he did, but that he's keeping this beard because he has to go to Buffalo after this.
Syracuse.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
What?
I have to grow out a beard, Dan. When I'm going to a cold place, it's an extra layer, you know? And you need layers when you're in a very cold place. And so the beard for me is like an extra layer. It keeps me warm. It protects my face, you know?
Before
You
we
should know.
before we get to Tua, though, haven't you been fairly disgusting trying to get to Syracuse? Have you been
Yeah.
trying to bill Meadowlark Media for a private jet?
I am trying to use our platforms to get a free private jet is what I've been trying to do. And I have called in a million favors, okay, to try to help me out. Because, Dan, I didn't, listen, this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. I didn't schedule this correctly. My daughter, I've been waiting for this moment, for this game, for this weekend for a very long time. And she has her first lacrosse game against Syracuse. Northwestern travels to Syracuse on Saturday. I am in Southern California basically right now. I have no idea. I can't get, it's very close.
You're
It's
in
a
Arizona.
3-hour drive from Southern California. And there are no direct flights, no directees to Syracuse. I'm concerned about my connecting flights, all my flights, and what I have done here is call in a million different favors. I have worn out Scott Van Pelt via text. I am trying desperately for someone to get me a PJ from here to Syracuse when we're done with our 17 guests in the noon hour. I need to get out of here, and I need to get there. My wife is concerned, and so I have been disgusting in my efforts in trying to make this happen.
Can you read us your text to Scott Van Pelt asking for a PJ?
Hey, Scotty, buddy.
Guys, Tua's coming.
Oh, Tua's
Do we
coming
go
over.
with
We'll
Uso
get
or
back.
do we
Put
not go with
Yeah,
bookmark
please,
that.
close
Okay,
that loop.
bookmark.
I don't know who's going to do the Tua interview.
We're going to do it, all of us together. Expect us.
Dan's going to do it. I mean,
I don't think you understand
He's got 1 minute.
how many.
Yeah, that's it.
Dan, you got connections with the PJ, by the way? I mean,
I don't think you fully understand how
Tua.
disgusting that story was.
Hey, Tua.
what happened?
You're leaving Tua hanging.
How are you? Good.
Grizzled vet.
Maybe Tua knows a
Go ahead.
PJ.
Go ahead. Let's set up the hypotheticals, Stugotz, of how it is that Tua would get us a private jet. Let's see if we can finagle. We're in an emergency situation, and we need Tua to get us a private jet to get you to
I'm
Syracuse.
wondering, do you have any sort of relationship? Like, if I asked you, okay, it's an emergency.
Yeah.
I need to get to Syracuse, New York today. My daughter has her first college lacrosse game. That's a big deal for her dad, right?
Yeah.
And her daughter, my daughter,
Sit down next
wants-
to the human being, Stugotz.
Yeah, in the
wants
frame of
that
the,
there. So
of
I am
the
wondering, if
camera.
I asked you right now, would you have the ability to arrange a private jet for me? I mean, could you do that? Like wheels up, you know?
What time?
Like 1:37 or so, something
Today?
like that. Yeah.
137?
Or so.
So like 4 hours from now.
I'm figuring we're done at 1. It roughly takes about 25
If,
minutes. to
okay,
get to the
if he
airport.
has to wait till
You think you,
1:38, it's okay.
Well, I think it'd be hard here.
Right.
just because
There's a lot of Jets here, too.
there's a lot of Jets.
Yeah.
I
Here.
mean, not the Jets that I root for, but there are a ton of Jets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, there's
Yes.
a lot of Jets here, and I think they're being used. So,
Right.
not too sure if there's any parking space at the airport.
I deserve that, Mike. But could you get it done? Like, if you needed it for yourself, could you get it done?
Well, I think because I came here on one, yes.
Oh, Tua, can you take me back?
You should take the subway instead, Stugotz.
Hey!
Jeez.
We should talk to Subway, ask them about their private jet
Yeah.
these days.
Tua, what's this giant board you brought with you?
Yeah, what's happening here?
Yeah, so I've teamed up with Subway, and you know, Subway they're leveling up fans' experience, their Super Bowl experience by, you know, having their new Subway series. And so we got a little game for you guys.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Which
Wait,
I'm
you're
sure
gonna
you
ask
guys
Dan a
probably
question?
seen the answer already.
No,
Yeah,
no, I haven't.
no. Yeah, but you're gonna ask Dan, who's
Yeah.
right, who's on the Zoom right there. Okay,
Yeah,
Perfect.
so
he's
you're
back
not
in
asking
Miami.
us. I do know the answer.
Oh,
Okay, because I
perfect.
saw it. All right, but go ahead.
All right, you want to ask Dan the question?
No, Tua, this is all you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. What is the total number of touchdowns J.J. Watt scored in his football career?
Oh,
Wow.
that guy.
And
That guy.
on this board, we have numbers. So it's numbered. If it's number 3, number 6, number 8, and number 10, and if you get it right, then you either get the sub or
We'll send it to them.
we'll
to
send
them.
it to
Yeah,
him.
don't worry.
Yeah.
Where is yesterday's sub? And Stugotz, do you want to tell
In my belly.
In my belly.
Do you want to tell Tua how you feel about J.J. Watt?
J.J. Watt, listen, I guarantee you every one of the touchdowns he scored, J.J. Watt made sure he was in front of a camera to let everyone know that he scored that touchdown. J.J. Watt is very upset. In fact, Tua, here's my theory on J.J. Watt, because he's a look at me Louie, okay? That he retired, then Tom Brady retired, okay? And 5 years from now, J.J. Watt wanted that entire Hall of Fame weekend to himself, and he no longer is going to have it because
of
it's
Tom?
Tom. Yeah, because it's Tom. There you go, Tua.
Because of Tom.
You agree because it's Tom's
Wow.
weekend now,
Wow.
and I think J.J. Watt actually comes back this season and then retires again, so he has his own
Oh
Hall of
my
Fame weekend
gosh.
5 years from now.
Oh, man.
You agree? I feel like it.
whoa,
Yeah.
geez, I don't know JJ, you know,
Yeah.
as a person, you know, and I don't know Tom as a person, but
Right.
I've ran into Tom more than I've ever ran into
Yeah.
to JJ. So if JJ does decide to come back and that is true, I mean, I understand.
I think exactly.
I
So,
feel
Dan,
like
how
you
many
do.
touchdowns
I
do
feel like
think
you
that-
do know J.J. Watt, though. He plays games with a bald eagle on his right shoulder pad.
That guy's a champ. He's a hoss.
Well, he's not.
What?
That
Uh-oh.
dude's huge.
Yeah, I know,
He's
but he's
big.
never won a championship. I mean,
Shoot, he's a champ.
I'm gonna guess 6.
He's a beast.
6 is the correct
I guess
answer.
6.
Congratulations, Mike. 6 is the
Six.
correct answer.
Oh, see what's
6.
over there.
all
We're
right, let me
open
check it
number
out.
6.
Number 6.
This is
All
an
right.
exciting game to it.
I
Do
need
you want to
to-
be a game show host when
Thank
you
you,
grow
Tua.
up, or what?
Yep, I can. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. That would be pretty fun, huh?
How are we feeling? Good?
We feel great. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You look good.
Oh, the
Thank you.
boss. I got the boss, Tua.
Let's go.
Yes.
Wait, was
Bill-
I right? Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's in the
Six
mail, Dan.
touchdowns. Yep.
Billy, go ahead
Well,
and
if you ask J.J. Watt, he'll tell you he had 60, but 6 is the answer. Yes.
go ahead and forsake all journalistic principle, Billy, and ask Tua what you want to ask him.
Well, no, I don't want to ask him anything. Tua, let me ask you something. Are you familiar with Tuanon?
Who?
Tuanon is your following. It's the people. I don't know if you're aware of this. There's lots of people who doubt you in your career. They're very
Yeah.
vocal. Chris Sims, one of them. Do you know Chris Sims?
No.
Okay, good, perfect. Let's keep it that way because he's very negative.
You don't
energy,
wanna know him,
always
Tua.
saying these
Okay.
disparaging things. You don't want anything to do with this Chris Sims character. In fact, yesterday, I'm going to send you a link. You'll give me your number later. Yesterday, Chris Sims fell off the stage, and it was because of the bad vibes he's been putting out there. Like he was here at Radio Row, tripped and fell off the stage. But he's just out there constantly saying negative things. And then you have this whole, knock on wood that you don't fall off the stage.
Oh my God.
So you have this whole group of people that follow you referred to as Tuanon. And Tuanon saying is expect us. So just look at the camera and say, hey, expect us, because these people are your supporters. And they're
Ooh.
out there getting away all the bad vibes and all the bad spirits.
Hey, expect us. Expect us.
He does know about it.
See?
What is the question, Billy?
Dan's one of the people, by the way.
Let's go.
Dan's no, he's one of your doubters. He's
Oh,
one of
thanks,
the people
thanks,
that thinks that
thanks.
you're
Wow.
not going to really make it. Yeah.
Thanks.
I love you like a son, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
We love you, bud.
How
So is
dare
that-
you
Is
accuse
that
me?
tap on Stugotz's shoulder a signal to your handlers like, get me the hell out of here?
This meatball pepperoni
No.
sub is unbelievable from Subway. I mean, so good. You want a bite?
No, I'm good.
Sure.
In all seriousness, though, how are you feeling? How are you doing, Tua?
I'm doing good.
Yeah? You
Yeah.
think you could have made it to the Pro Bowl? You were cleared beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you're just in there a couple extra weeks, make sure everything's all right, you're all good?
Well, I didn't think it was necessary that the first thing I came back to do football related wasn't team related with the Dolphins. And so that was one of the reasons as to why I didn't attend. But also, like I'm a new father, and so
Congratulations.
thank you. So spending time with my son and trying to help out my wife, get him on a sleep schedule. And
What do you do?
help
Because
around it.
I'm a newish father too. I have a 1.5-year-old. What are you doing to get this baby to sleep when they wake up? Because it's been a challenge.
Yeah, so this is new to me, but they have to sleep more throughout the day in order for them to sleep throughout the night.
Mm-hmm. How many naps are we by right now? Two
So-
naps, 3 naps?
No, we're at maybe 4 or 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so we have like short-term goals for him and then long-term goals. So if he cries, I don't know, and he wakes up like 15 minutes before his short-term goal, we'll let him cry. If he's crying to the 15, and then we'll go and grab him. But it's been good. It's been helping.
I feel like we're disappointing people because no one's really heard from you for a while, and now you're back, you're healthy, you're looking great, and we're just talking about babies and how they take naps.
That's the best. It's the best. I think being a newly father, changes your perspective on everything. It enhances your perspective on life and how you see others and how you approach things, and especially how you look at other kids and other people.
So were you upset the other day because there's been Nick Sirianni had his kids on the stage, and then the kids were getting a little bit rowdy during the post-game
It's a
press
bit annoying,
conference.
Tua. Come on.
Well,
man.
okay.
It
See,
is.
and
Well,
some people are saying that.
Well, I never seen. I didn't see it, but I think he deserves that with his kids.
Yeah.
Um,
Just pipe down a little bit,
Why?
Let
'Cause he-
daddy work,
But why does he deserve it? Because he made the Super Bowl. That should be a family moment.
Correct.
Yeah, but the kids need to be old enough to be on the stage. You know what I'm saying? It's like, then they become a distraction. They're crying. They're moving things. People are trying to do their job. The media is trying to ask questions. You know what I'm saying?
Stugotz's has a
Like,
meatball in his mouth.
I agree.
yeah,
I agree.
and pepperoni, Mike.
I agree. How was the sandwich?
Unbelievable. Again, I'd offer you a bite. You want? You can have half if you want. Go halvesies.
No, you're good. You're good.
To last year Russell Wilson was with Subway and he was signing sandwiches and then handing them out.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
Billy,
a pen-
when I asked you to ask him the question you wanted to ask him, I didn't think it was going to be about Tuanon. I thought you were just going to get your jersey signed because you're there pandering to the man. You've hogged the interview because you're such a fanboy. You've been wanting to talk to him. You bought that jersey because of how much you believe in him and everything he's about. And so I thought you were going to ask for his signature on your jersey. That's why I was talking about forsaking journalism.
I mean, if he wants to, he can, but I'm not here to ask things of him. You know what I mean? He's given me and the fan base enough with his play and just his general positivity.
Sure has.
His outlook on life throughout the season.
So
Dan.
people were worried about you though last year. They were worried. You heard the people saying he should leave football. On our show, someone said the Dolphins should be charged for murder if you died on the field in Cincinnati. You heard people being concerned about you. You understand that concern, correct?
Yeah. But I just think it was a series of bad luck. It was very unfortunate. But I think you play this game understanding that those are going to be the risks that you're taking. And we had an opportunity to do something really special this year with the group of guys we had. But like I said, it was very unfortunate this year.
But how many people close to you were saying, is this worth it, especially as you're talking about the joys of being a new father?
Yeah, my wife, my parents, people close in my circle, all of them questioned it. But at the end of the day, it was essentially just going to be my decision on if I wanted to continue playing or not.
Should Mike McDaniel have been charged for your murder even though you're very much alive?
Did you ever consider it, like charging them with murder?
No.
Okay, good.
Okay, good.
No.
Yeah. worried about that. Good.
Tua, thank you. We appreciate the time. I'm sorry we wasted so much of it.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
I'll see you at the airport.
I had fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right.
Let's go.
What time? What time? Wheels up.
Tomorrow at 4.
Oh, what? That's too late to.
All right. See you guys later. I don't want to actually break. I want to just keep this going here, and I want to address the profound discomfort of Chris Cody, Chris Whittingham, and Mike Ryan, who all the first 8 minutes of those 12 minutes had their heads in their hands. Billy and Stugotz did not want me to go to, I think they were calling it Concussion Town. I believe that they were afraid of Concussion Town. And you guys, what were the discomforts there for you guys that you would, all three of you? It's rare that I look up and I see three faces, or I can't see three faces, because first of all, Chris Cody, before descending into his hands, shouted at the roof above him, "This is so awkward." Like a man in pain, "This is so awkward," and was shouting at the roof. No, I'm not going to argue that those 12 minutes were spent well.
It was like good awkward, I think. I was just like, I don't know. There's just sometimes in interviews, and like I said, I think it could be good while that's happening. I just get this feeling where I can't look at anyone.
Well, the three of you didn't look at each other. I want honest thoughts on what was happening. Chris Whittingham hasn't been able to look at me since this interview started. What is the matter with you guys?
We played hot potato on who was doing the interview, and it came off that way, like we were playing hot potato. So I thought Billy did a great job of taking charge and leading the interview. And then as we moved along, it was like, well, we're heading towards Concussion Town, but we didn't want to go to Concussion Town because we didn't have enough time, and then we started in Concussion Town at the very last second.
The reason that I do not like this week is because he's there to sell us ham. He's not there. Like we're trading. Take us to Concussion Town.
I wanted to go to Concussion Town, and we ended up in Murder Town.
Might be some pork and meatball.
Trade us. The transaction's a little too brazen for me. It's a little too overt. Hey, talk about the fact, because seriously, think about the consternation we had about this man's skull for however long we had it, and then you realize he came out of the concussion protocol last week.
He seemed well. He passed for me.
Mm-hmm. Great.
He passed for me.
Dan, I told you to take control of that interview, man. You leave it to us, and that's what happens. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. We're awkward sometimes. I'm sorry. I mean,
Tony Khan is with us now. I think we just go straight through. Like, show everybody the greasy, dirty underbelly of what this week is by just factory producing interviews one after another. Look how happy he is. Khan, what are you so happy about? Just because you rule wrestling? Like, what? Or you're just generally happy every time you're wandering around the earth because you're dominating sports, or are you here to promote something?
I'm here to promote AEW Rampage tonight on TNT at 10 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Central, and Wednesday Night Dynamite on TBS every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Big wrestling things going on, Danny. Thanks for having me on.
You're dominating wrestling. You're feeling, is this you at the height of your powers right now? Everybody asking you, hey, are you going to buy WWE? I think I put an extra 2 W's in there.
Is that Porky Pig?
That's okay. It used to be the WWF, so that's okay. Yeah, I get asked that question a lot, and I can't really answer it. But if there was a process there for a sale, certainly I would be interested in it.
Are you bored by the question?
No, not at all. I don't think you could ever get bored with a question like that. And I don't really ever get bored on your show, man. I'm so happy to see you and be here.
How have you exceeded your expectations? Give me all of the ways, because we've seen the growth of this business as something that you believed in a while ago. You kind of saw the streaming wars coming quicker than some other people, right?
I think so, yeah. We got into this business largely based on what was happening with sports media rights and wrestling media rights in particular. And it's been really an incredible few years. What's amazing to me is the contract I'm working off of, I actually negotiated the extension in your dressing room at the Clevelander. So thank you for letting me borrow your dressing room to talk to the network about my contract.
Tell us what about that extension was something that you couldn't have imagined when all of this started?
Well, it came so quickly. We started doing the TV show in October 2019, And I was visiting you in January of 2020, just a few months later, and we got off to such a great start. They said, we want to do this long term, and gave us a long extension and locked us up for several years. And it's been great. We're on an amazing run. What's really cool is right now is probably the best run of shows we've ever done, at least in terms of the critical fan feedback. And, you know, there's a website called cagematch.net that's like the IMDb of wrestling fans. And right now we've done 175 episodes of Wednesday Night Dynamite, and it's the highest run of ratings we've ever gotten from the fans for the shows. So I think, you know, our fans are very happy with what we're doing, and the network's really happy with what we're doing, and we're growing. You know, we've expanded. We're on TSN in Canada, ITV in England, and we just announced we're going to be on ESPN in Australia and New Zealand. So pretty exciting times, and we're on TNT tonight for Friday Night Rampage, so it's pretty awesome for AEW.
I have not mocked you nearly enough for coming on here and telling us with great fanfare and great zeal how Urban Meyer had changed everything that was Jacksonville related. But it leads to the question I want to ask you. When you see the disarray in WWE management and the public messiness, I wanted to ask you a twofold question. One, what are your honest thoughts about everything happening over there as you read the news of the chaos over there? And two, when leadership is in that condition, how does it affect the product and the business?
Well, I can't speak to that second question because I wouldn't know, not being in that situation. On the first hand, you know, it's very mixed. I'd say mixed feelings. I think we'll have to see how it turns out. I can't really comment on what their internal struggles, internal stripes are, because I don't work there and I'm not there. I can only speak to the challenges we've had. And, you know, I've had a lot of wrestlers come to me and allege that WWE reached out to them to tamper with their contracts and ask them to break their contracts. I can't confirm that specifically. I can only tell you what the wrestlers have come to me and said. But I've had multiple wrestlers and staff report that to me. It was a very disturbing. And I've had to go out and try to put on good shows despite this alleged tampering and stuff like that. But frankly, I don't think it stopped us because the quality of the product and the quality of the shows is at an all-time high right now. We just did a great... please.
Is the wrestling business as dirty as the fight business?
The wrestling business is very dirty. I can't speak to the fight business, but certainly I think it's more organized than the fight business. In as far as, you know, there's two, I think, well-organized promotions competing with each other. Again, I don't know if these things have happened. I only know what people have come to me and alleged. But I do know that it's a real war between AEW and WWE, and the fans are interested in it. And that was part of the original business model of AEW, was I knew wrestling fans, frankly, are very interested in wrestling free agency and wrestling wars. And I believed we could create a free agent market that is definitely a real thing now. And that would be a big part of the story. I think wrestling fans at the end of the day appreciate that a lot of what happens in wrestling shows is sometimes story. And that's why people like watching the shows. They like the stories and the exciting matches, and especially the combination of the two when the stories lead to exciting matches and vice versa. Now, what's interesting is the story that is the most real, the most intense, and the most hatred in all of pro wrestling is that between the two wrestling promotions. I think we truly, truly hate each other. And I think it makes for really exciting TV, and it makes for an exciting wrestling war.
What is an example of that hatred? Because you haven't articulated it quite like that before.
Well, I'll give you a good example. About 2 years ago, there was a rumor I read on the internet that my business partner, New Japan Pro Wrestling, had gotten a phone call from Nick Khan about switching over to work with them. And I was really just getting started with New Japan. Like we'd only been working together a short time. And that also had been, frankly, a tumultuous relationship, but it was getting pretty good. And to this day, it is an amazing partnership. And I called the New Japan executives and said, is this true? Did WWE call you and try to get you to turn on me? And they said, yeah. And I said, okay, well, are we still doing the stuff we have planned? Because at the time, we had a match set up for Wednesday Night Dynamite where there was going to be a New Japan title match in AEW. it was the first of many of those such matches. And they told me, no, we don't trust them. We want to work with you and we want to stay with you. And ever since, our relationship has been incredibly positive. And, you know, it gave me motivation to say, like, okay, I don't know if, look, again, I don't know if that's true or not. I only know what my business partner alleged to me and what I read on the internet, and they were both the same thing. So following up on that, if that's the case, I know they're out there to get me. I know they're out there to hurt AEW's relationships with our business partners, if that's the case, allegedly. And, you know, it made me want to work that much harder to make AEW stronger. And then that ended up being probably the biggest year for growth we've ever had.
Hey, Tony, it's Tony. One thing, appreciate the tickets. We did it, okay? It was always the Jags. We need to have Dan capitulate on air. He hasn't capitulated yet in a totality. Like, I need him to capitulate to you.
Please. Well, please, you know, to be honest, Dan, there's many things he could rake me over the coals about. So I'm not going to rake Dan over the coals for not
he wants me to admit nationally and internationally that the Jags were good last year. He was saying it. You were either started 2-7 or 3-7. You were in a bunch of close games, and he wants me to capitulate on the Jags being good. And I thought you should have lost to the Chargers when you were down 31-0. I thought that's what the Jags were.
We weren't down 31.
27-0.
27-7.
You were down 27-0, and you made it 27-7 before at the half, and then it's one of the greatest comebacks anyone's ever seen. But I thought who the Jags were in the first half of that game.
Oh, not the second half.
Not the second half. If the season had ended at the half, I would have said, see.
Well,
that's why they play 60 minutes.
The second half, Dan.
Is that why? To make me look like an asshole? That's what you're saying. That's why they played the second half.
No, they played it for that guy who bet $1 million that we wouldn't win the game when we were down 20 points at halftime.
Ouch.
Tony, hey, it's Mike. Great to have you on. Let me just ask you a hypothetical question. Let's say hypothetically you were running a Premier League club that's kind of been up and down, but has a solid history in London. And the team that was winning the top flight perennially was caught cheating and circumventing financial fair play rules. What should be the hypothetical punishment for that club that was winning titles while circumventing these financial fair play rules?
I cannot speak to such a hypothetical situation.
Yes, you
sir.
can. It's totally hypothetical. You can, because it's totally a hypothetical situation. Yet, what do you mean you cannot speak to it?
I just pulled it out of a random generator.
It is totally hypothetical. Listen, Con, I'm so done with these no comments and this dance.
Should they be sent down several flights?
You know, to be honest, I'm trying to at least answer them, most of the questions articulately and with good answers that are going to get aggregated, which I think is nowadays so much of the point of this, right? Like, you want people to come out and give quotes for aggregation. It's good for you. It's good for me.
But this is hypothetical FC. You're talking about hypothetical FC right now.
Yeah, I mean, in that hypothetical situation, I'm just very happy, hypothetically, that Fulham is doing so well. This is the best year we've had since I started.
Let's start over. You didn't do that correctly.
Take two.
Yes, you don't. You can't mention Fulham. It's a hypothetical. Yeah. It's a total hypothetical.
Hypothetically, you were the sporting director for a club that's been up and down.
Well,
hypothetical
that is
United.
I think the fact is, like, I just don't really have much to say about what other people are doing, whether it's hypothetical or not, in the league, because we're trying to handle our business and we're having a good season. And that's not hypothetical. That's the truth.
Tony, I got to let you go. I'm sorry, because CJ Stroud is there, and it's Super Bowl week. We've got AEW Revolution pay-per-view event. It is March 5th in San Francisco. But before you go, just say all the things that'll get aggregated.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I mentioned that AEW and WWE, it is a real hatred and competition. I think that'll probably get picked up. I went back and talked about the
I need the new things. I need the new things. Any things I didn't ask you about.
Ask him about Phil Brooks.
Yes, Phil Brooks. Aggregated thoughts.
You don't even know who that is, Dan. So that being said, what I will do that I think will get aggregated and talked about is we've got a huge pay-per-view show coming up March 5th. We have a big TV show coming up Wednesday, and we have a show tonight on TNT that I think is going to be a great show. we've got great fans, and I've never had, and this will get aggregated, I promise you, I've never had this kind of support and interest in AEW on a business level, sponsorship and licensing since this Bloomberg story that came out about AEW last week. I know Mike has read it, and he could probably share it with you, Dan. It was the best coverage I think we've had in the business world, and it has really raised a lot of eyebrows, and I've never had more interest in partnership and sponsorship and licensing for AEW.
Thank you, sir. A very lucrative deal coming your way in AEW media rights. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man. Good to see you, Dan.
Likewise, buddy.
Demotion for Manchester City. You heard it here first.
Sorry that I had to cut your time short. We always enjoy talking to him about the business of wrestling. And we really, if you've been listening to here for a while, you know, you've seen that guy's company explode, and he kind of told you exactly how all of that was going to happen. And he was out in front on creating, just making all of wrestling better because he threw in some competition.
He's usually been pretty forthright whenever we ask him about Vince and WWE, and I think it was pretty interesting that he was a little bit more reserved this time around, and I think it's pretty telling considering the very legitimate interest that he's had, that he's revealed to us about buying the competition. So maybe we can read into some of his non-answers.
From Tony Khan to con artist with Stugotz on radio.
Nice transition.
Where is
there.
Stugotz? Where's the con artist? There he is.
Sitting down right now. He and Billy are surrounding CJ Stroud. CJ, can you hear us in Miami, sir?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. How you doing?
Good. It was a lot of fun, man, to watch you welcome in the new year. It's been a long time since I saw a quarterback. It really has carry a team, and I was heartbroken for you at the end of that game. So thank you for joining us. But what were the next couple of days like when you know you've given it your all? I imagine it's the best performance you've ever put together, and somehow at the end a kick betrays you.
First and foremost, I just want to thank God for the opportunity to be here. Appreciate you guys having me. Yeah, that game was full of a lot of emotions, man. It definitely, I think after we lost that game before that, people were counting us out and definitely thought we forgot how to play football or something. And we felt that, and we felt the energy, and we just wanted to not really retaliate to it, but just show the world what we can do. And I definitely think that we started working hard. I did everything I can to win that game. Watching film, me and my guys throwing extra in the training room, whatever I could do to be at my best to play that game. And I feel like I did a good job in that game. Of course, watching the film, which I did a couple things better, but definitely think that I put my team in an opportunity to win, and I tried to do my best to lead us to victory. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, things like that happen. I think my kicker, Noah Ruggles, he's a hell of a kicker. He's a great kicker. He's definitely somebody, if we had to go kick it again, I'll choose him again. So it's just one of those things in football that just happens like that. So it was just a blessing to be able to play on that stage in front of millions of people and play in Atlanta and just have a good time with my teammates, man. And after the game, the game was hard, of course, just losing it. Definitely don't want to go out like that. But the hard part with me was figuring out what I wanted to do. If I wanted to stay in school or go back to go pro. So definitely something I had to pray on. Spend a lot of time with family and just really just a lot of conversation. And ultimately I'm here. So decided to go pro, but I definitely enjoyed that last game and everything I did as a Buckeye.
Can you explain to people how NIL changed your life? How the change in the rules helped make it so that the system couldn't exploit you quite as much?
Yeah, I think NIL gave us us college players an opportunity to, of course, earn your name, likeness, and image, but at the same time becoming a young businessman and conduct yourself that way. And that's something that I try to do early on. I think it came out when I was 19, and I was making a decent amount of money when I was 19 years old. So, a lot of people aren't blessed enough to do that. So I thank God for the opportunity. And it taught me so much of just money management, time management, being able to work with people. It has a lot of things to do with football as well. But for me, I was just keeping the main thing, making sure that I stay focused on football, because if I didn't play good, then I wasn't going to get paid, so it really didn't matter. And I definitely just did everything I could to be the best teammate, best leader, best football player I could be, and I definitely think that going into my decision to come back to school or play and play pro, definitely played a part into it, just because I wasn't dead broke like years before players have come out, and I had some money, and I was probably going to make a lot more if I did come back. But for me, money doesn't move me at the end of the day. I did it. I made this decision just because I felt it was best for me and my family to go ahead and go to the NFL. And I definitely appreciate everything I did at Ohio State. And I think the NIL would definitely make it easier for players to go back, get the degree, and do good things in school.
CJ, did I hear you correctly? It would have been more lucrative for you to stay at Ohio State?
No, sir. It would not have been. It would have been, I'm sure, a pretty decent number through just endorsements and different things with our collective, with Brian Schotstein and Cardell Jones, who was helping with that, and Coach Day was doing a great job trying to find us more money as a team. It's hard. It's a hard kind of middleman route that he's in with the NIL space, because I mean, at the end of the day, he just wants to coach football along with our other coaches, and pretty sure other coaches in college football. But this is the world we live in now, and he's trying to adjust just like everybody else. And definitely think that Ohio State needs a little more help, and I definitely think that Coach Day is fighting for that, and he's something who's advocate for us to get paid. And I definitely would have got a decent amount of money, but it would have been, I don't think, what I'll get when I go to the NFL.
But you are underselling, though, the parts of your story that are really unlikely, and you're underselling how much of a difference, even if money doesn't move you, how much of a difference it makes to a life to go from where it is you were to where it is you arrived. What do you, because you were living in a storage facility, right, your family, and what do you regard as the most improbable parts of your story, or the things that you overcame that are harder than the average person having to overcome them?
Yeah, I mean, there's some truth to that. I definitely did go through a lot throughout my childhood, had a lot of ups and had a lot of downs. But for me, I mean, that's what taught me that money isn't everything. It really, I mean, it comes and it goes. It's something that people attach themselves to you because of the fact of money. I think money is the root of all evil. Well, it has a lot of roots to evil, and that's why I didn't make my decision based on the money. Of course, it is life changing. Of course, I'm super blessed to be in the position I am. But at the end of the day, I don't play football for that. I play football because I love it, and it did change my life. And it changed it not only just because of the money part, just because I have a family now. I have brothers. I have sisters. I have just so many connected families, people who I consider father figures in my life, and people who I consider like uncles, and my coaches, and so many great people that I've come across playing this lovely sport that I would never go back for anything. I would go through everything I went through all over again, and some definitely is a part of my story, but it's not all of me. And I definitely want to do something in my community or around the world just to help those kids who are going through the same thing that I went through as a kid, and definitely think that the path that I'm on is able to trailblaze something special for these kids and for people in general to be whatever they want to be in life. So that's something that I plan to do. But yeah, that is a part of my story, and it's something that I'll keep with me forever, but it doesn't make me all who I am.
Well, let's make him earn this money on behalf of Auto Trader. You are a spokesman now for Auto Trader. You're making your way through Radio Row. You're telling your story, but you're telling it on behalf of Auto Trader. So go
and he
ahead.
drove a car over here through the convention center that just says
Right.
Auto Trader all over it.
His all red, white letters, Auto Trader, man.
Mhm.
But yeah,
You
just
came
that-
wait. You came
I'm sorry,
into
man.
you came into the building
Yeah.
or you just
That worked
valeted
out.
out front.
He drove it up the escalator. It's parked right over here. You just can't see it because our camera's
I got
not.
a scooter too.
Exactly. Auto Trader sells scooters too.
No, all jokes aside, man. Just the process of becoming a rookie and becoming a pro, just that process from college to the NFL, the training that I've been doing lately, it's been really hard, and something that's been a dream of mine, a goal of mine, is not only just buy myself a car, but buy a family member or my mom, my sister, whoever the case may be, a car, and something that I wanted to do. So I partnered up with Auto Trader. It's been a great partnership with them, and definitely a company that is doing great things. And so when I decided that I wanted to partner with them, they made it so easy for me to look at cars and make sure that I wanted what I wanted. So they have the biggest widespread of cars that you would need for your lifestyle, whatever that may be. If that's an SUV, a minivan.
Do they have little
a truck.
cars?
They got little cars, whatever
Yeah.
you need.
Red
man.
cars,
Anything you want.
blue cars,
Anything.
green cars.
Anything.
Damn.
So Auto Traders.
Are you as happy as I am that we could do this for Auto Trader? You and me?
Yeah, it's amazing. I definitely would never see myself doing something like this growing up, but for me, it's just been a great process, man, and I definitely appreciate Auto Trader for partnering with me through this great Super Bowl weekend, man. Ready to watch some good football, so yeah, shout out to Auto Trader.
But CJ, you do, as your life changes here, right? When your agent calls you and says, hey, Auto Trader's going to give you this much to do this, just talk to a bunch of nerds on Radio Row. Just go there for a couple of hours, wander around, tell your story, and speak it into microphones. You have to be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Of course, man. Of course, I love to play football. I definitely think that's the funnest part. But I definitely think this is a part of it, and to spend time with you guys, I definitely think it's something that opens my eyes up to different things every day, every time I get to do it. So definitely blessed to be where I'm at. And yeah, man, when you get that call, just to be a partnership and work with a company who has trailblazed many positive things and is doing positive things even now to this day, it's just something that I think that is right to do. And I definitely think that the type of person I am definitely fits the message and the brand of Auto Trader, so I'm trying to just do that the best to my ability.
CJ, thank you for being on with us. It was cool. It was cool to watch your evolution, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
All right. I want to talk to the group for a second here because I don't feel like you guys were listening to that. I feel like I lost the room here because Radio Row happened a little too much too Radio Rowy, where the transaction became a little too transparent for you guys, and you're like, okay, here, yeah, tell us your story, but tell us on behalf of Auto Trader. And it's the parts of the week that I object to, that we're just jamming these people, and we're just making the commercial elements of this uncomfortable.
That's how it goes, though. It's Radio Row, Dan.
Yeah,
They
Dan.
can't all be amazing, Dan. Sometimes it's just gonna be, what?
Hey, man. Hey. Yeah.
We didn't say that to his face.
Auto Trader. Yeah.
He's gone.
Well, were we amazing during Tua?
No, we were bad. We were bad. But green cars, too.
Yeah.
Green cars.
Purple. Some purple.
Andy rode a scooter too.
We have been negligent today and not talking about, and this is cool in Miami if you care about Miami sports, there's been just precious, precious little excellence around here over the last 20 years or so. But Zach Thomas finally made the Hall of Fame, and there were a lot of people in Miami. I don't know that there was a sports story quite like this one in a lot of different ways, not just fifth-round pick, undersized, and basically became a Hall of Famer neck first because his neck is bigger than his head, and his story was a very cool one, always a pillar of professionalism. Him and Jason Taylor are about the only good thing about 10 years of Dolphins football. Excellence unquestioned, will unquestioned, character unquestioned. And to see him so moved because he finally got in, because people in South Florida knew this guy's better than Urlacher. Like, if Urlacher's in, this guy gets to be in because he's that kind of excellent. To see him snubbed year after year after year when he did all the right things, just was a maximum professional in every way. And before we knew the health benefit or the health impact of this sport the way that we know it now, gave his entire body and being to, I'm going to get concussed on 4th and short at the goal line, even though my body's broken.
As an undersized middle linebacker.
I mean, just a force of will that I don't know how his body held up. And I think a lot about him and how his body must hurt climbing stairs because of how much he got out of it and the way that he played. To see him yesterday finally get in and get the fountain of youth that the old guys get from, I used to be that guy. I've grieved his passing. I'm limping through retirement. I have my regrets because I wake up in the morning and there ain't any applause when I'm waking up and my whole body hurts because, God damn, did I have to do it that way? For him to break down weeping. I saw Jason Taylor a lot in front of a locker with his head down, tears in his eyes, broken, because they gave so much and those teams weren't good enough. Broken. Zach, I didn't see sobbing. Zach would get emotional, he'd get angry, but sobbing isn't one that he did. And he was sobbing to be given, finally, just Jimmy Johnson walks into your house and says, Zach, you are a Hall of Famer. For him to take that entire story of, they really did doubt me at the beginning, and I outwilled them, and I did it with this undersized body. and have the punctuation be, no, you're good enough to be with the very best. Now, Zach, he was undone by it.
I was happiest for him because while he played in a relative golden era for middle linebackers, he wasn't given enough credit. And you saw Brian Urlacher get in, and I believe in his first crack. And if you saw this, man, we're feeling mad old here, by the way. When you remember, when you've seen damn near every snap
this class, I feel really old.
You feel old. But I was happiest for Zach Thomas because it wasn't a given with him. I love Joe Thomas. I think Joe Thomas is, for my money, the best left tackle I've ever seen. I knew he was getting in. Had serious doubts that Zach Thomas was going to get in. I may go to Canton because I'm so happy for Zach and Joe Thomas.
Let's break for a second here. Not very long because we're going to keep going from Radio Row, but let's just break for a second. Akbar Bahia Mia. I can't pronounce his name.
Why did you do that?
Baha Milla. I can't pronounce his name.
You heard that.
We'll get no, he didn't. Well, all right, let's not break then. Let's say right here. I listen to me. Akbar,
I'm listening.
Before you came on here, I asked them 3 different ways to help me with your last name because I can never pronounce it. The G is silent. I am so sorry that is what you'd be greeted with when you arrived here. My apologies.
Hey, I don't have any hard feelings with that. I mean, look, it's a difficult name, and I always tell people if it makes you feel any better, it took me to the 2nd grade to learn how to spell it. So, I mean, and it's my last name.
It doesn't make me feel any better because I don't.
Okay, what if I said it took me to the 5th grade? Would it make you feel any better then?
When did you actually learn how to spell your last name?
2nd grade. I'll never forget it. 1986, and I remember going to my dad. Dad, I got it. G B. It was like the longest thing ever. It was like a lot of letters to remember.
Were you sick that day?
No, I wasn't sick. I was just imitating what a snotty-nosed kid would sound like, trying to spell his. I wasn't actually snotty then. I just felt like that's what kids sound like, isn't it?
Every time I see Ninja Warrior, I stop on it. I cannot help but stop on it. I am transfixed by watching people fall into water and the challenges that they face. You don't get bored of watching that show, do you? You don't get bored of doing that show.
No, I don't. I actually really love it because of the stories and what people have gone through just to get to that point to compete on the show. A lot of people could just do what you're doing, sit back and not compete, and just look and play, Ninja Warrior quarterback on Monday and go, I could do that, right? You look like one. You guys look like you guys are the folks that say I can do that and don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so these people actually are doing it. But no, I really do love watching it and cheering them on. I really do say that I get paid to be, I'm not a TV host, I'm a TV cheerleader because that's what I'm really doing because I have a chip on my shoulder. So I didn't have an illustrious NFL career. And I was an undrafted free agent. And so I know what it's like to have like a chip on my shoulder. And some of these people come out and compete and, they're your everyday people. And so they get out there and they have this one opportunity to shine. And so I just love cheering them on. I love cheering them on like I would wanted somebody to cheer me on.
Akbar, I saw that you recently went vegan or a few years back, and your wife makes a cauliflower turkey on Thanksgiving. Now, I just need to tell you, that can't be good.
No, I don't know why you brought that up. That was traumatic. She went to Whole Foods and bought this cauliflower turkey breast. It looked like a turkey, and they like shaved it down to make it look like real turkey, and they had vegan gravy, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is great. When you're smelling the aroma in the house, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like you just want to eat all the savory stuff. So I'm thinking, oh man, she hooked it up. I'm about to have something. And for some reason, I just thought it would taste like turkey. And when I bit into it, can you imagine? It tasted like a cauliflower. I was so dejected. I mean, I was jacked up. And I lost my veganism right then and there. I was like, I'm done. I went back to...
You lost your V card.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the V card went out, man. V-Bucks, whatever it's called, that was out. That was done.
Well,
done.
How long did you last as a vegan?
So I went on 2 tours as a vegan. I'm like kind of like Tom Brady of vegans. Like the first one, I was like 6 months, and then I quit. And then I went 13 months. and then I quit. So the vegan turkey incident happened in my 6th month, and I quit. And then I went 13 months, and then I said, you know what, never again. I was taking so many supplements to try to make up for all of the vitamin B12 deficiency, acetyl L-carnitine. I'm like, man, I'm spending $400 on all these supplements. I could just eat a steak and be
Eat
good.
a burger, man. Let's go.
I was like, come on. So anyways, yeah, I'm back to being just regular.
Was there a second incident that rivals that made you quit after 13 months? Like, was there something that happened that was worse than the cauliflower, the god-awful cauliflower turkey?
No, I just think because with inflation and the amount of money that I'm spending on supplements to make up for, being vegan and all the stuff that I'm not getting, I'm like, man, I gotta cut the budget, man. I gotta cut the budget. So this one was financially induced.
Do we still have an Amin El Hassan falling into the water on the?
I'll never forget that. That was in Miami.
But do we still have the most viewed clip in the history of Ninja Warrior?
Yeah. You guys have it?
No, we don't have it. Who were you saying hello to? Anybody?
No, I was saying what's up to Stefan Diggs here. Funny story with Stefan Diggs off camera. I was filming American Ninja Warrior Jr., and so happened we were staying at the same hotel, and so I saw him and his beautiful family, and so so this is like a reunion here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
he
It's
can
like,
join us if he wants. I
yeah.
mean, he's going to join here next.
If he wants to sit down, Billy. If he wants to sit down, that's
you can
fine.
Come over if you want. Talk about American Ninja Warrior Jr.
You know what? Put
and
him on.
Experian also.
I'm gonna put him
now
on the
that we're
spot right
thinking
now.
about it, yeah.
I'm gonna put him on the spot right now.
Yeah, have a seat. Oh, he's saying hi to Juju. Hold on a second.
Well, let's see between them who is better at shilling their product, because both of these guys are talkers. They're good as spokesmen, and I would want them on behalf of my product. So, Akbar, you go first, please.
All right, so I'm going to go first. I'm here with Experian. I was just talking about finances, but Experian is more than just your financial, your credit bureau. It's not just your credit bureau, but they're also helping people save money by allowing people to boost their credit. Get this. All you have to do is self-report your streaming services like a Netflix and a Hulu and a Disney Plus, and it allows you to boost your credit. So you get credit for that. That's it. And you get to boost your credit. So how about that for saving money in this time when inflation is high? But speaking of, do you remember that time I was filming Ninja Warrior Jr.? Yes. 100%. And we were downtown. Yeah, you remember that? All right. So here's
starstruck.
Yeah, I was starstruck. Right. So here's the question: do you think you could do American Ninja Warrior?
Hell no. I watch American Ninja Warrior. Like, me and my girl routinely, like, that's a show that we all cut on and be like, look at this. Like, this is amazing. Oh, in the beginning stages, like those, like, first couple ones, I probably could do that.
Oh, yeah.
But when it gets like, all right, they go to the next round and they hitting the buzzer, like, a majority of people can't get up the wall. I think I can get up the wall.
I would love to. I'd actually pay money for that.
I'd see that.
I'd donate money
Best
to your
athletes. Here we go. I got an idea.
Okay.
Get 5 NFL players, the ones who are the fastest, the strongest, the most athletic, and put them on American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah. I think we should do that. I think I'm gonna create a new spinoff, NFL edition of American Ninja Warrior.
You ain't gotta even pay for that. I'll get you that.
All right.
Stefan, the problem though is because like when Amin did it with him. The problem is you're too big for it. Like the people that are best at American Ninja Warrior are smaller because of the hand strength that you need to have, especially ones that you're hanging.
He's like the right size. How tall are you?
I'm 6 feet.
How much you weigh?
Like 195 to 200. I like the lighter guys. Yeah, I'm a little thin right now, but I like the lighter guys just because when I see them, it's like this. Damn, they move their body weight around like easily. Easily. But more impressively, I like to see the women do it. Like it's like this. You go, girl.
Yeah. That's my line too.
Yeah.
I got it from Martin.
Wow. I know. That's where I got it from. That's where I got it from.
You go, girl. You go, girl. Yeah, man. But that's good. Well, look, man. I'm gonna give you the stage, man, because I know you guys want to sit up, but I appreciate you guys taking the time. And you guys heard it first here. Stefan just gave us credit that like NFL guys can't do it, but guess what? I did.
It's because you're not a regular guy.
Appreciate you, man.
Akbar, good seeing you, and we will pick up this conversation with Stefan Diggs. So if you had to make the top 5 of most athletic guys that you think would be best at actually doing American Ninja Warrior, what would your top 5 most athletic guys in the NFL look like?
I don't know.
And good seeing you, by the way, Stefan.
Likewise. My top 5, I would love to see DK Metcalf involved in American Ninja Warrior. Why? Just because he looks like he could probably do it. And then you got other guys like Austin Eckler, like strong. It's not small in any way, shape, or form, but throws his body weight around, has a good balance. A guy like Christian McCaffrey. Like to see Christian McCaffrey, guys like that. Just those guys that, are workout guys and, keep themselves in great shape. So, that's my first three right now off the top of my head.
No Tyreek Hill. No
He got the speed and the strength, so maybe throw him in there too as well. I can't think of American Ninja Warrior and players at the same time.
You said you can't say that Austin Eckler is small, but I saw him standing next to Stugotz and Billy on Radio Row. He seems like he's really small.
He's short, but his stature is very, very strength-based.
It's a brick wall.
There we
Just
go.
like me, right?
There we go, 100%.
Yeah, thank you.
Were you surprised, Stugotz? Were you surprised at the size of Austin Eckler?
I was very surprised. Listen, I maintain I'm at least 1 to 2 inches taller than Austin Eckler. He won't give me that. He won't give me an inch. But, yeah, I was surprised by how tiny he is. He's a small guy, man.
Darren Sproles was a small guy.
Yeah,
I
you're
know
right.
some small guys that played at a high level. I don't know how tall Dante Hall was, but the X Factor played a huge role in my success as a player too. So, the small guys do pack a punch, man.
Stefan, Tony was very excited because he wanted to bring Refran del Dia out of mothballs here with you because he'd heard that you've been practicing Spanish every day for a long time. How and what kind of shape is your Spanish in right now?
It's in pretty like. No, I'm not bilingual or anything, but like, you know what I'm saying? I'm garnishing like small words, putting together sentences. Like, I really try to communicate. I spend a lot of time in Miami, majority of people down there speak only Spanish. So it's like, it's good to have like at least the basic words down, like the basic words so I can somewhat communicate.
And you're studying it how often? How vigorously are you trying to learn?
I'm 248 days in a row, and I can recognize it. I can read it. You know what I'm saying? I can look at it a little better. So it's a process, I expect 365 days to go by, and I still don't know it, though.
All right, well, let's see here. We'll bring in Tony. He wants to do Refran del Dia with you. Do you know what that means in Spanish, Refran del Dia? The refrain of the day. It's a Spanish expression.
Saying of the day.
Yeah,
we're not even that far yet. On
That's what it means?
Refrain of the day.
Yeah.
But go ahead. I'm listening. Let's go. Always up for a challenge.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've had Refran del Dia back, and we are with, probably in my opinion, the best receiver in the NFL right here, Stefan Diggs, who has been, learning Spanish like we said, excuse me. I was getting emotional.
¿Cómo se dice suck up en español?
He said that to Justin Jefferson yesterday.
I did not say that to Justin Jefferson. That's not true.
It was Jamar Chase.
It was Tyreek Hill. It was Tyreek
No,
Hill.
Jefferson
I can
too.
see it. I can see it.
That's not true. That's not true. Okay, Stefan, so here's the deal.
It was Devontae Adams.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
He's only said it 5 times.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, top 5's not bad. Yeah.
Top five. All right, listen. What we do here on Refran del Dia is I give you a phrase in Spanish. You're not going to know what it means, but I'm going to tell you so you can use it with your people later on, okay?
Got you.
All right, so we're going to spin a wheel. We've got 50 or 60 different sayings.
Let's see
some
what we've
could
got
be very
up here.
crude.
Yeah, this might be. Yes, this could be crude.
Could be very crude. Let's see. Oh, wow.
What did it land on?
This is probably one of the greatest ones we've ever had.
Okay.
This is one that we've been looking forward to the entire time. We use it here in this studio all the time.
Tell us.
Are you guys ready? Yeah. And Stefan, this is for you.
Please say it.
Today's Refran del Dia is calabaza, calabaza, todo el mundo para la casa.
Oh, wow, this makes this is going to make no sense.
Calabaza, calabaza, todo el mundo para la casa. And what that means in English, the translation.
Hold on. Slow down, Tony.
Let him try.
Yes, Stefan, you would guess what? It's a saying that makes no sense. None.
In English.
Kind of sounds like that, and I'm not close to even kind of recognizing it. So
Calabaza, calabaza. That is somehow pumpkin, calabaza, calabaza. Go ahead, Tony.
The saying in English translated is pumpkin, everybody home.
Mm-hmm.
And
I knew it was something like that didn't make any sense because I never heard calabaza.
But now you got it, right? So it's basically used in a setting where you have people at your house, you're having a party, and then it's time to go. Like people are like staying a little bit too past the welcome or whatever.
Oh, so it's like one of those you ain't gotta go home,
but you gotta get up out of here. Exactly. You Give him the
Calabaza,
swinging
calabaza.
finger, and then you tell him calabaza, calabaza. Everybody go home. Let's go.
Yeah.
But what does
Pumpkins.
pumpkins have to do with going home?
Well, it's the
exactly
rhyme.
right.
Yeah, it's the rhyme.
That is the good question, Stefan. You're totally right. What you have asked there is what does pumpkins have to do with everyone going home is exactly the correct question.
Cinderella's carriage turns into a pumpkin, right? And then calabaza into casa, which means home. So that's the.
Basically, it just rhymes with casa.
Yeah.
Which is lost her shoe, and then it hit midnight, and then the carriage turned into a pumpkin.
So that's a lot that goes into just the calabaza.
Yeah.
It's just like everybody go home.
Cinderella's very big in Latin culture.
Ooh, I didn't
Stefan, just tell them to get the hell out of your house.
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I'm
just
saying?
get out-
Right.
get out of
Yeah, but you're
stuff.
learning Spanish, though. I could say it in the
me-
cruder way in Spanish,
welcome.
but I don't want to do that to you.
Let me ask you a question, Stefan. Let's say like I dropped a pumpkin and it got all over my clothes. What should I use to clean it?
I would probably throw. You probably have to use a detergent. but,
Yeah, what kind?
Downy isn't detergent. Downy Unstoppable is actually just for you to smell good.
Billy.
Good try, Billy.
But I do have something for you. Great. I appreciate the plug. If you're one of those people who
I don't have anything.
don't wash or
That was a Doug Marone situation.
but I do got some smell good for you. You can smell it too.
Oh wow, this smells awesome. Smell this, Stugotz.
Billy thought he was so smooth
Delightful.
there.
Yeah.
Oh.
So smooth.
So slick.
Oh man, that
Yes.
is
Great
awesome.
stuff. He did a great job at that. Though. He
Yeah,
almost
thank
great,
you.
Great play.
Stefan,
You know those guys that make a play in the game. It's like this. Yeah, you tried. What? Like catch a one-hand pass out of bounds. Be like, damn, that was a good catch. So.
we
Like the
always,
effort.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the happiest Stugotz has been all week.
No longer cool.
we love talking to you, and I did want to ask you a few football questions here before we lost you, because at the end of the season, I thought your team was a lot better than that. I was stunned. You lost 3 games all season, 3 points, 3 points, 2 points. To see you blown out at home, you seem to be as stunned by it as I was.
Yeah, it was definitely a sight to see because nothing that we expected to happen and something that I went in like, we got this game. You know what I'm saying? We got a chance. We're going to rally. We're going to be the team that I know we are. But we kind of lost ourselves somewhere along the road. Like the first 9 weeks, we had that established identity, and then that back end, we kind of got away from it and kind of started doing other things. We were finding ways to win, still winning games, but we kind of carried that team into the playoffs, and it just wasn't enough. It kind of showed that we needed to figure some things out.
I assumed that your team would end up getting past Cincinnati, and I also assumed that Josh Allen's elbow had to be a problem once it was reported that it was hurt. How much of a problem was it?
I don't know. I don't know the details of it because, he was still still at practice. He didn't throw as much at those couple weeks that he was a little banged up. And then going in, he started to end up still playing well and having some success. So it was kind of hard to gauge. You knew he was in some pain at one point, but he was just our quarterback being our quarterback, and he kind of fought through it. So, but I live in this space of it's always result based. We're not opinion based and we're not tries based. You know what I'm saying? All the ifs in the world could get us there, but we didn't. So if you fall short of it, you trying to diagnose why you fell short and kind of get to the bottom of it.
Okay, but it's not an excuse if your quarterback's elbow's hurt. It's not. I understand that you guys have this bravado of, no, we've got to win no matter what, bottom line business. But if your quarterback's elbow's hurt, if it's really hurt, your team may look offensively the way yours did the second half of the season, which was different than the first half of the season.
Yeah, it definitely probably played a part. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to say all right, I want to give you an excuse, but nobody deals with an excuse at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It sounds good, and everybody was pulling for us, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we let a lot of people down because everybody had us as a dark horse to go all the way, especially with the past couple of years, how they went. And then this year with all the stuff that we went through adversity-wise, I feel like the world was pulling for us. And, the storybook ending just didn't happen.
When you say adversity-wise, can you take us inside it all in a way that makes us understand the emotional drain of everything that happened with Damar Hamlin, all of it, and how just a locker room would absorb something like that as human beings?
It was even before that. I mean, if you're aware of it, just the top shooting that happened at the grocery store that we were part of in the spring, and then the 2 snowstorms, and then with people in the Sarge Stadium, it was crazy because people died. RIP to a lot of people, you know, to the families. It's just like so much other than just that. On top of the Damar Hamlin situation was a compound interest of just a series of events that was very unfortunate. Luckily, like one of them came full circle with Damar Hamlin being the main focus. Hearing him speak yesterday, seeing him yesterday, talking to him yesterday, really, I hope it uplifted a lot of people, kind of put everybody in a moment of triumph and rejoice.
Stefan, one more time before you get out of here. Chris Cody has a question for you, but on behalf of Downey, what is it that we need to know? Because I want to make sure you wore one of your finest suits. This is honestly, Radio Row is beneath you, sir. You're too good a player at this point. You should have outgrown Radio Row by now, but we appreciate when you're here, and we appreciate how sharp you look on behalf of Downey.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. You know, my Downey family would appreciate Downey Unstoppables to always be used if you want to smell good. It's like perfume for your clothes. You still have to clean your clothes. I don't know if you still clean your clothes. Yeah, still got to clean your clothes, but you damn sure smell good. So,
I've been wearing these same jeans for 4 consecutive days, Stefan.
I know. It's okay.
And I just had a heater.
You won't know.
Yeah.
You won't know.
Right.
You look still. If you put the Downey on them, they just won't know.
No, you're right.
Let me ask you something real quick before you go. I don't know if you heard, but there were some people out there that were saying that your stadium shouldn't have a football team because of the fact that there was snow, or that there should be a dome over the stadium.
Yeah.
Especially the week that you guys went and played in Detroit. Like, how do you process that? It's absurd.
Oh shit, I don't know. Yeah. I look at it as in, look, people it's all opinion based. You know what I'm saying? If they want a stadium, I mean, if they can garnish all the money in the world. You think we have a new stadium on the way. I don't know if it's going to be a closed dome, but they also look at it as an advantage in Buffalo. And the people in Buffalo kind of appreciate the snow.
Yeah.
Appreciate the weather. They love the experience. So, I mean, you got to give the people what they want.
Stefan, I've also seen in the media that there was somebody who came out and said that Josh Allen has a stupid face. Who could possibly say that?
I don't know.
Don't look at me. Why are you looking at me?
He's to your right.
Close to me if it was said in the media.
Sounds like a fucking hater to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, the guy's halfway decent looking to me.
I agree with you.
It was the guy to your right.
Good looking almost.
Some people smell bad.
Yeah.
Well, what's happening here? How bad does Stugotz smell?
I don't know. It's just like this is like a musty section.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Totally fair.
There's some good people.
So I smell musty. You're right.
Stefan, I want you to describe what is happening next to you as Stugotz throws at us. I've been wearing these pants for 4 days. You know,
4 day jeans worth?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just a lot of friction.
Right.
Really abrasive over here.
Yeah. I was expecting nicer weather. I got to be honest with
that's
you.
fair.
Yeah, I
Hey,
thought it'd be
Z.
warmer. I thought I could wear shorts. I can't wear shorts. It's very cold outside.
And you only brought one pair of
That's
jeans.
all. That's how many I own. What do you mean?
Just air dry them. Air dry them when you get back to the room.
I will.
Stefan, thank you for being on with us. We appreciate it, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
All right, you too, man. Say hi to your brother for us, the chief ball officer.
I'll spend all night out in Venice, then make castles in the sand. Santa Monica's calling, but I'm here to cover the Rams. I'll stay in and avoid chateaus. If I booze, then I'm on Skid Row. Just one drink to begin, not like that's a big sin. Just one beer, then we're gonna go to the Super Bowl.
Now, Mike, you know we're here to cover the big game. It's a time to be professional and avoid all the temptations the City of Angels may have to offer. Ain't that right, Jess and Kate?
That's right. We're just here to ask quirky questions to grown men wearing their full uniforms without pads in a convention hall.
Oh my God, is that George Clooney? It is!
Baby, one scotch at the Roxy.
Come on now!
One shot at whiskey, a go-go.
There we go! Now we're all drinking to run and avoid temptations, but a job to do. Professionals with a drink or two. Just a thimble of gin, and then I'll be locked in. After gin, then we're gonna go to the
a minute, it's the walk of fame. So much to see instead of the big game. And the traffic is bad on La Brea. So come on, join me in popping tequila.
I'm just here to drink and find Lewis Hamilton. Hey guys,
Need a shotgun of beer or what?
I don't feel so good. I am genuinely fucked up right now.
It's showtime, buddy!
Racism, greed, trauma to brain and spine. And yet, I cannot look away. Heroes are dead. Science has their heads. Oh, is there no escape from here? I need to know. It eats my soul. Nothing stops me and is this heaven or hell? I can't tell. It's human cockfighting. CTE prayer circles. They blackballed the blackballer. They tried to end racism by stenciling it in the end zone. Billionaire boys using millionaires as toys. It's all immoral, all unethical. Ooh, the witching hour. Nothing stops the NFL. Is this heaven or hell? I can't tell. It's Urban and Snyder and Flores and Gruden, but Kyler, but Kelsey, but Cooper, but Canton. It's cheating and tanking and bounties and banking, but parlays, but face paint, but promo, but weddings.
Bahia Mia, Bahia Mia, Bahia Mia, Bahia Mia. Akbar, Bahia Mia, Bahia Mia. Akbar, Bahia Mia, 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 Mia. Akbar, Bahia Mia. Akbar, Bahia Mia. Akbar, Bahia Mia. 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 Akbar, Bahia Mia. Akbar, Bahia Mia, Bahia Mia, Bahia Mia, Bahia Mia. Akbar, Mia, Bahia Mia. Akbar, bar, 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 Mia, 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 bar, Bahia Mia.
Rectum. Rectum. Rectum.
Splash.
I before the show started today, we were on pronunciation guides.
Watch it on YouTube.
I got coaching
From me.
Yeah, well, not just you. Now I made him Nicaraguan. Like I insisted on.
That's your move. Your move is to make everything Latin.
Well,
You made it a Spanish lesson.
Jose Mourinho, you made Moreno. Like your move is to make things Latin.
The double L's.
There's no double L in Baja Miller. Isn't there?
Oh, I thought there was.
It's a single L.
Okay,
That was
show
handed
off.
to you.
Show off. Yes, you got the name right after initially getting it wrong, but no one gets it this wrong. No one. Bahia Mia, you could hear me fall apart in the middle of it. Akbar, Bahia Mia. I thought the Mia.
Mia. It's
I
like
think
Andrew Luck shows up. Mia.
Akbar, Bahia Mia.
Mia.
Well, it's because I got scared in the middle of it, is what happened. I knew.
You don't say.
Bahia Mia. 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 Mia.
To James Mulvaney. To James Mulvaney. To James Mulvaney. To James Mulvaney.
Rectum. 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 Rectum.
Roy. Roy. Roy.
Mia. Bahia Mia. Akbar. Akbar. Bahia Mia.
Roy. Roy. Roy.
Boy just walked in with barbecue sauce.
To James Mulvaney. To James Mulvaney. To James Mulvaney. To James Mulvaney. To James Mulvaney.
He spells it G-B-A-J-A-B-I-A-M-I-L-A. Baja Milla.
Blink 192.
Baja Bahia Mia. Milla. Bahia Mia. Baja Milla. Bahia Mia. Baja Milla. Bahia Mia. I got to the middle of it.
To James Mulvaney.
And I'm like running for an hour. We're live. We've been live for an hour. We could do this. I used to do this all the time.
Rectum.
I used to do it back when I was young. I
Rectum.
could just sprint through Radio Row. And then you throw me an Akbar Bahia Mia.
Blink 192.
Who else we got coming up today? We're going to go live. We're going to close this out with joy. Look at Billy and Stugotz. Stugotz smells bad, smells like 5 days of Super Bowl week. Billy is delirious and tired from babysitting Stugotz and editing 75,000 hours of
And they want me to
Stugotz
wish
content.
you happy Chinooka.
Yes, thank you, Sugar Ray Robinson.
Smokey
No,
Robinson.
Smokey Robinson.
Happy Chinooka.
Holy shit, that's a fine.
Super Bowl week, Dano. It's now just Super Bowl week, Dano.
Happy Chinooka.
Billy, how are you holding up out there? Billy, your face is in your hands. I'm worried about you. His microphone is not on. Are you guys worried about Stugotz? Are you guys worried about Stugotz? People are commenting. Steve Levy asked out loud, "Did you bathe this week?"
Billy, paint the picture out there. How's it going?
There's a fake Andy Reid feed away from me.
Ooh, let's talk to Andy Reid. I know God Bless Football has a real Andy Reid on. We'll take the fake one.
Well, we have Myles Garrett arriving very shortly, so I'm, unless you want to blow him off for fake Andy Reid.
Sight gag?
How about both of them? How about they sit next to each other? How about we have Myles Garrett and we introduce him to the fake Andy Reid? What is the fake Andy Reid selling out there? Is the fake Andy Reid doing interviews?
He's taking selfies with people, shaking hands, kissing babies. What did you say, Stugotz? Go get him. They want to talk to him.
Billy, do you regret?
Stugotz, you can go get him.
Billy, do you regret bringing up that fake Andy Reid's over there?
I regret not paying for internet here because it's been a nightmare.
It really
to edit
has.
things, send things to people. It's just the whole. Jeez, what's going on? How's it going in Miami? You guys seem cool and chill.
Is the fake Andy Reid being made available for photographs or just
Stugotz
interviews?
is going to grab him. He's chasing him down. He's talking to people, shaking hands, and I don't know what he's doing. I know it's not the real Andy Reid because he's wearing Andy Reid's clothes, like the windbreaker, like fishing type shirt with the vent in the back, and he has a giant ring on. And for some reason, he's walking around like with one of those professional, not the briefcase, the one that's kind of like. The one you toss over your shoulder and it's leather and it has that thing, you know what I'm saying? Almost like a laptop case.
You asked us how we're doing, and we're not doing great. But that's because a piece of the sun just came off.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. You didn't hear about this?
Nah.
A piece of the sun just gone. Scientists
What do
called
you
it
mean?
curious.
Where'd it go?
A piece of the sun by the North Pole of the sun broke off, and it sparked a fire tornado.
Another one?
Yeah, but on the sun. Did you know
Hmm.
pieces of the sun could just break off?
We're doomed.
Stugotz keeps trying to do this to me where he asked me the other day, he's like, are you not worried about all the aliens and the UFOs? And I'm like, nope. Like, what am I going to do about it? If this is the end, this is the end. I get, look, guys, I may be cool now, but I can't stop aliens and UFOs or the
Right.
sun. You know what I mean? So I just kind of embrace it and go with it.
It is odd that we have wondered our entire lives whether or not there are UFOs and aliens out there, and now we have confirmed data and footage that there is, and no one seems to give a bleep. I mean, seriously, they can end us whenever they want. I mean,
Well, that part hasn't been proven. Like you're
I mean,
that well that
they haven't wanted to yet, Dan.
It's a safe assumption considering their technology is so much
Right.
better than
Oh,
than
wow.
ours.
That part has not been confirmed by the U.S. military. Not the powers to destroy us is just a movie conceit. After that,
it all started with the movies, Dan, okay? The movies were right. The movies told us there were UFOs, okay? And I'm telling you, the movies have also told us the aliens can end us with a single push of a button, okay? That's the kind of technology they have. And so I believe in the movies because the movies have been accurate. And so I do believe the aliens can end us whenever they feel like it. They're just waiting for the right time. I have no idea what time that's going to be, but no one seems to be concerned about it. That, the asteroids, and pieces of the sun falling off. I mean, it's crazy.
Billy, who just walked by? I saw you give a little head nod.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Hutch.
Yeah.
star of God Bless Football, along with many others. God Bless Football producing a lot of episodes today, tomorrow. Billy, are you holding still a Subway card, the trivia card?
I am. The Subway trivia card was left behind, so I feel bad for everyone else that
Bring
has
it
to play
back.
the trivia game. Because the question is, what is the total number of touchdowns J.J. Watt has scored in his football career? Which, by the way, I'm just... If he scored any touchdowns in college, this answer is wrong because it's his football career. So that would go back to college, and it would go back to like high school and all of that, right? It's part of his football career because this doesn't say his NFL career. I think we're playing a little safe there with the words. You know what I mean, Dano? Anyways, the card's here, so I don't know how they're going to play this game with everybody else moving forward.
How do you feel about what Subway, who dominated the promotional game out there this week? Subway has this this thing that they're doing with the trivia, and it doesn't seem very entertaining, but they did it.
Great. What do you mean? You didn't have fun with the Subway game? We played it twice. Both times the answer was 6. I don't know if you caught on to that.
I did catch on to that. Thank you, Billy.
I will say this, to Subway's credit, no one gathers a crowd like Subway does, at least so far. Like, Subway has owned the room. Oh, hold on. I got to stop talking about Subway. Miles Garrett's here. He's promoting Fast Twitch, damn.
Okay, that's a different thing. All right, so Billy's got to go get Miles Garrett. I still need. I need to hear
Getting
more.
the fake Andy Reid. I'm on it.
What was that? That was a defeated voice right there.
I mean, it's just
I am
tired.
defeated
It's the end of the
because
week.
I'm the one chasing down the fake Andy Reid. That's why.
He doesn't like where his career has come to. I don't blame you, Stugotz. Your rage.
Let Miles Garrett get into the
generation,
table.
and here I am going to get the fake Andy Reid because no one else will do it around here.
Okay.
Getting out of Miles Garrett's way.
Yeah.
Lashing out at all his teammates.
All right, this is good. I'm happy to see Miles Garrett. I'm happy to see Miles Garrett see Stugotz's fury because he has to go get. It's such a great thing to be rabid about. I've got to go get the fake Andy Reid is great as a rage-filled sentence. This person, this scary human being right here. You watch football for a long time, right? And I don't want to be prisoner of the moment, but Lawrence Taylor, like menaces rushing the quarterback. I don't know that I've seen very many people ever do it better than this person does it. Miles, good seeing you. Thank you for being on the show with us. Do you look at anybody in the history of the sport and say, yeah, that person was better at this than me?
Better than me? No. Do I think I still have a lot to live up to? You know, with the guys like Bruce and Reggie and LT, Deacon, Derek Thomas. I still think I have some longevity that I have to put on display. But I think as far as what I can do on the field and what I have done on the field, I don't think there's anyone better than me.
Joe Thomas told us earlier this week about practicing against you at the beginning. When you came in and you're facing the Hall of Famer in the condition that he was in at the end of his career, still great, but at the end of his career, did you think to yourself right then, because you were beating him, oh, wait a minute, this is going to be really easy?
No, I never thought that. You know, I think each person is uniquely, has their own style. So as good as I am with Joe at the latter end of his career, and I could go against someone in their prime who's just completely different, and I have to adjust and adapt on the fly. And I have that confidence about me where, whether his style matches up good against mine or not, I'll find a way to beat him. But I look forward to those matchups with Joe every practice. And Joe back in the day when we were still go against each other was only practicing once or twice a week, but I was still licking my chops, looking forward to our matchups. Cause I just wanted to know what it was like to go against one of the great ones, even if it was his last years.
Miles Garrett, the reason that you are great, if you have to choose one, you're only allowed one thing that you believe is most responsible for you being this kind of excellence. What are you choosing?
Mentality. I think my mentality, whether it's off season or in season, is I'm gonna find a way to win. Whether it's during the game, practice. You may beat me once, but you'll never win the war because I'm gonna keep coming at you until I inevitably come out on top. And I think that's just just keep on chopping away, keep on plugging it, and you'll eventually find a way to win. And I think that's shown throughout my career. Whether you get me early, first quarter, second quarter, I'm gonna eventually hit that switch. I'm gonna eventually get into the zone, and I'm gonna make it happen.
But people who are great at what you do, if they could take one physical thing from you, what would it be? Like, what do they think is otherworldly special about you, given that they have better knowledge of the skill set than I do?
Probably my legs. I hear a lot of guys ask how I dip, how I do, how I bend the edge, how I do, or how I jab step and go side to side and either inside and out and outside and in. Had guys like JD and some of the other rushers, Alex Wright, IT, some of the young guys asked me how I do it, and I worked out it when I was young, when I was coming up. But a lot of it's just natural. As much as I worked on it, I was blessed to have this ability, and I have a responsibility to maximize it and do the most out of it. Do the most with it.
You've gone viral occasionally with these incredible feats of strength. Even for you, after you did the box jump with the 40-pound dumbbells, where you're like, yeah, that's kind of rad. How long were you trying that? Did you ever fail?
No, and that was when we took the video. That was the first day I did it. I don't think we did it again. But that was just like on a whim. It was like, yo, like let's just
whim.
It was on a whim. It was like, yeah, I got to work out. We got box jumps. We didn't have enough boxes to like make it challenging. So I was like, all right, I gotta challenge myself. I gotta up the ante. And so I just grab some 40s, and the rest is history.
All right, he laughs at his own strength. It is the superhero stuff. But give us one thing that if you had to impress somebody by saying, look, this is how strong I am. What is the thing that you would show that person to be like to back them off?
Show them how strong I am. It would either be my power clean or hamstring curl. I think on the hamstring curl, I think I have the highest power output in the league. And as far as power clean, I love doing power clean. I always have. And like even before I was my first year in college, I was doing about 405 in power clean. So it's just like exercise. My coach told me was built on how much explosion you have, upper body, lower body. It was just that dynamic explosiveness, and I was like, then I'm gonna make the most out of it.
Mike, why is your head in your hands? Just because
you're over 400 pounds power clean as he's a freshman in college?
Mike,
do you understand how insane this person is?
Yeah, he is insane. That's why no one can block him.
There's never been
someone
ridiculous
like this
on the planet. There's never been someone with that size, that strength, that speed. It's just insane. I'm a big fan, by the way, of yours.
I have a question for Miles. You had LASIK before the season?
Yes, I did.
Did the lasers like scare you? I feel like lasers, it's a little like, I'm afraid of getting LASIK because I feel like I go blind. Like they'd mess up and I'd be the person.
I mean, I did go blind for like.
Did you really?
5 seconds.
Oh. How did you manage?
I mean, he told me what to expect. And so it was one eye at a time, and it's like you get one eye done, and it's like you kind of went around this circle and left to right. And at the end of the day, it was like, you wear these glasses, don't touch your eyes, make sure you put some drops in. And the first day, like, your eyes are so sensitive and like they're kind of sore, and so like I really just rested that day. But like when I woke up that morning, I could see like perfectly 20/10, and I thought that was really worth it. Like as much as the laser and all this that was going to be touching my eye, it was like, that bothers me, but it's like that 20/10 is worth it, and not have to worry about glasses or contacts or anything like that. I was like, I mean, the lasers really last for 10 seconds a piece, each eye 2 times.
Part of the sun fell off today?
Huh?
Yeah, that's what they tell me. There's a report that part of the sun fell off, which is like more concerning than lasers.
Like a solar flare or what?
No, like a chunk fell off, and then it caused like a fire tornado.
Can you help us with that?
I mean, you could send me up there, or I could just take off. Yeah. my people need me. I must go.
Miles, I feel like everybody always just wants to ask you about how strong and tough you are. I want to ask you the exact opposite. Like, what's something you're like extremely afraid of? Like cockroaches or something.
Extremely afraid of. That's a tough one.
Miles Garrett will jump on a chair if a mouse comes into the kitchen. Will jump on a chair and squeal.
Not even. I wouldn't say I'm scared of it. My friends might say I would, but I just wouldn't ride a horse.
Yeah, I don't fuck with horses either.
A horse paralyzed Superman, and I just can't do anything with that.
That's true.
What's the last movie that made you cry?
Last movie that made me cry. Ugh, it's been a minute. Probably The Notebook.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about this. Okay, hold on a second. Now I need to know. You're sitting in a theater or you're sitting at home?
Oh, definitely sitting at home.
All right. Are you by yourself or with others?
I was by myself. It was just on one time, and I was like, yo, I want to see what all the hype's about.
And then you just started sobbing in front of the television?
Lip quivering?
No lip quivering, just a solitary tear came down. And I backed away.
Blubbering.
You know what scares me, Miles, sometimes is working out without fast twitch.
It should scare you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you don't work out with fast twitch, I'll
Seamless as always, Billy.
Yeah.
To give it to you.
Yeah.
Or to put you underneath a squat bar with 600 pounds.
That would
it's your
kill me.
choice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, you can either enjoy fast twitch and all its unique flavors.
Sugar free, I hear.
Sugar free.
Zero sugar.
200 milligrams of caffeine with electrolytes.
Helps me focus the mind.
5 calories.
Powers my body.
I mean, it might get you underneath that 600 pounds and back up.
Yeah.
Without a hospital gurney.
You know what I heard? It has vitamins B6 and B12. 2 vitamin Bs.
You can't beat that.
Miles, if you had to carry the gentleman next to you all day around on your shoulders, could you?
Absolutely. I'd toss him over one shoulder and we'd be on our way.
I dare you.
So you just
I dare
please,
you to do it.
Please let Miles.
Not all day. You can't do it now.
Now, if
I can't do it now.
Yeah.
please.
I mean,
He does have a dislocated toe.
Miles,
I'm ready for the challenge. Toe or not?
Miles, let's go.
Let's do this.
All right, we got to do it now. I don't know if we have the
Come
camera
on.
work for this.
Put your money where your mouth is,
All right.
buddy. Hold on. They have to zoom out a little bit.
Yes, hold on. Miles, just give us a second here.
Be gentle. I hurt my back the other day.
Be gentle?
Is it
Well,
weird,
gentle
that
with-
I'm jealous?
Pretend this is the notebook. Pretend this is the notebook. Just pick me up.
All right, but we need better camera work out there. We need to make sure because we don't need him to fall off here without us being able to get the shot. Let's see what we've got here, Miles. Have at it.
Generate a lot of strength from
So
that toe. Oh,
jealous.
Oh my God!
So jealous.
It would be
Oh,
easy.
wow. Yeah, that's pretty easy.
He could totally have breakfast with that on his shoulder.
Power lifted him.
Lift him
You
up
could do
with,
that all day.
I want like one arm. Just lift him up.
And we'll see you guys later.
The next interview.
All day.
Like he looks like a baby.
Oh, he is cool. I'm so jealous of Billy.
How was it, Billy? That was awesome.
I was very scared. Oh, here you go.
He needs the vitamin B6 and B12.
I'll spend all night out in Venice and make castles in the sand. Santa Monica's calling, but I'm here to cover the Rams. I'll stay in and avoid chateaus. If I booze, then I'm on Skid Row. Just one drink to begin, not like that's a big sin. Just one beer, then we're gonna go to the Super Bowl.
Now, Mike, you know we're here to cover the big game. It's a time to be professional and avoid all the temptations the City of Angels may have to offer. Ain't that right, Jess and Kate?
That's right. We're just here to ask quirky questions to grown men wearing their full uniforms without pads in a convention hall.
Oh my God, is that George Clooney? It is!
Baby one scotch at the Roxy.
Come on now! One shot.
Billy, did Anthony Ramos see what just happened there? You taking one for the team, Myles Garrett carrying you off of the set. Did Anthony Ramos see and witness all of that?
I hope not. Did you
I
see
saw
it?
that.
Oh,
fully.
shit.
Fully. That's commitment.
How'd I look?
You looked great on his
Tough?
shoulder.
Anthony,
Yeah.
every guest is doing that, so you're gonna have to do that at the end.
Sure.
Or
Why
would you
not?
or would you allow Billy to do it to you since he
Yeah,
is becoming
after you, Gary V has to do that to me. So.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, let's do it. Whatever we have to do to make the show
My
the
man?
best it can be.
Okay, let's figure out what we're going to do at the end, whether Anthony wants to carry Billy or Billy's going to carry Anthony. It'll become a Super Bowl tradition. Thank you for being on with us. Were you surprised the ease with which, even understanding that football players are strong and that particular football player is stronger than most of them, were you surprised the ease with which he picked up a 6 foot, close to 200-pound or 180-pound man?
He picked him up like he was a baby. Picked him up like, yeah, it was crazy.
A bit like a transformer, you might say.
Like a transformer, like the way yes, how I get picked up in the film, literally, just like that.
Rise of the Beasts. This is the Transformers that is coming out in theaters June 9th. And as an experience for you, being a part of this kind of franchise, this is a long way from Hamilton.
No, this is a long way from Hamilton, man. It's crazy. Yeah, June 9th, man. I'm so excited. This was a dream. I grew up a Transformers fan, and you know, being able to be in the film and be the lead of this movie is crazy, bro. The little kid me is bugging out inside, bro. So I'm super excited.
What was the little kid in you's relationship with Transformers?
Man, I used to watch Beast Wars as a kid every Saturday, and I think one of the coolest things was that this is the first Transformers movie where we actually have the Beast Wars, Optimus Primal and Cheetor and all those characters, and you know, and I had the toys. I was always playing. I actually, my babysitter used to take the toys away from me because I was playing with the Transformers toys too much, man. But it was a dream, man. It's a dream to be a part of it, bro. And I'm just excited to be on this ride, yo. It's crazy.
How improbable is it to be at the center of this, given what your upbringing was, given what given that could you have imagined 20 years ago? Sure, of course, I'll be in the middle of this as a Puerto Rican person.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, you look at the history, right? Shia LaBeouf is Mark Wahlberg, and now me. I'm just grateful to our director, that he trusted me, Stephen Caple Jr., another Boricua, and Dominique Fishback also from Brooklyn. I just didn't think, these roles weren't available, for Puerto Rican kids from the projects, in Brooklyn, back when these movies started. And now, thankfully now we have an opportunity to tell this story in a fresh way, in a new way. I'm so excited, man. The movie is set in New York and Peru, and there's so much of the culture in New York and so much of the culture of Peru is embedded in this movie. I'm just so excited.
Do you have rattling around in your head a bunch of Hamilton still? Like, can you just fire off a bunch of Hamilton because it's just rattling around in there?
That's so mean.
No, I'm just asking. I'm not going to ask him to do it. I'm just asking if it's still in there.
Wondering.
Just wondering. I don't. I actually saw Lin-Manuel, who wrote the show. I saw him at a wedding recently. He's like, yo, so I know all you guys are famous now, but
He doesn't talk like that.
no, he doesn't.
Put a lot of bass in his voice.
Yeah,
there.
I did put a lot of bass. I actually don't.
Is
yeah.
he nice? He seems like a lot.
Yeah, he's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, Lin's cool. He seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Yo, that's hilarious, bro. Yeah, I mean, he's not a little bit.
Yeah.
He's not. He's cool. Lin was like, yo, 10-year anniversary's coming. Can you guys save a week for me? And I was like, yo, my man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know about a week, bro. I said I might be able. I can show up on a Saturday, and we can get it done. But they want to do a concert, so But I don't know. I don't remember a lot of the words, so I apologize. But if you know the words, feel free to say.
Dan made a musical also. Dan was also in a musical.
You big time.
Why don't you do this, Dan? Why don't you sing part of your musical and then he'll sing part of his musical?
Oh, Dan. Yeah, Dan.
Yeah.
Please.
Nothing stops. ENFL.
No way, bro.
Your move now.
That's it?
No.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
You know
I
what?
got.
I actually do remember some of it.
Here we go.
I'm John Lawrence in the place to be. 2 pints of Sam Adams, but I'm working on 3. Those red coats don't want it with me, cause I will pop, chicken pop these cops till I'm free.
Yo, this guy's awesome. Anthony, man, we really appreciate you joining us today. Great guest, maybe the guest of the week, and we can only hope that you'll be back
Oh
Soon
my
you'll
gosh.
see, you'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. Let's just skip to this part. Da 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 da. Back to you, Dan.
Mute the mics. Mute the mics. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
I'll spend all night out in Venice and make castles in the sand. Santa Monica's calling, but I'm here to cover the Rams. I'll stay in and avoid chateaus. If I booze, then I'm on Skid Row. Just one drink to begin, not like that's a big sin. Just one beer, then we're gonna go to the Super Bowl.
Now, Mike, you know we're here to cover the big game. It's a time to be professional and avoid all the temptations the City of Angels may have to offer. Ain't that right, Jess and Kate?
That's right. We're just here to ask quirky questions to grown men wearing their full uniforms without pads in a convention hall.
Oh my God, is that George Clooney?
It is!
Baby, one scotch at the Roxy.
Come on now!
One shot at whiskey, a go-go.
There we go! Now we're drinking to avoid temptations, but a job to do. Professionals with a drink or two. Just a thin bowl of gin, and then I'll be locked in. After gin, then we're gonna go to the Super Bowl. To the Super Bowl. Super
I mean, we have been locked up for a while.
Yeah, there's no rule against covering the big game and enjoying La La Land.
Wait a minute, it's the Walk of Fame. So much to see instead of the big game. And the traffic is bad on La Brea. So come on, join me in popping tequila.
I'm just here to drink and find Lewis Hamilton. Hey guys,
You a shotgun of beer or what? I don't feel so good. I am genuinely fucked up right now. Let's do another round of shots. One more round.
It's showtime, buddy.
Racism, greed, trauma to brain and spine. And yet, I cannot look away. Heroes are dead. Science has their heads. Oh, is there no escape from here? I need to know. It eats my soul. Nothing stops me at Is this heaven or hell? I can't tell. It's human cockfighting. CTE prayer circles. They blackball the black wall.
How do I do this? Is Stugotz muttering to himself at the end of the week as we go live here. Okay, let's recap your week real quick, because God Bless Football had its challenges at the beginning of the week, but now you're saying 3 more episodes tomorrow.
Well, let me backtrack on those promises slightly, because we're running into some of those issues again, where I'm trying to outsource some of the sounds and send them away, and then I was told that that they're unable to open, so I have to figure that out. But I need to figure that out in 2-minute windows, so it's been a bit of a challenge today. But we're here. Dan, we're powering through. Danny's going to just stand right in front of the camera. Don't worry about that.
Hey, look, it's our table.
Power through anyways. Yeah. Transforming into a human. I get it.
It walks down. What happened? We forgot at the end of that interview to get either you on Anthony's shoulders or Anthony on your shoulders. We just forgot because, of course, we were too busy singing Hamilton. But can you tell us what the difficulties with Stugotz have been? Because he's unruly, but now we have many episodes coming out if you can get internet.
Yes. What was the question? I lost you. You went in and out. Things are a little spotty here, Dan, but business is picking up. Miles Garrett is over there. I don't want to look him in the eyes anymore because I don't want to get picked up again. I'm not going to lie to you. I was a bit lightheaded when he lifted me up, because it was one of those things, you know how when you get up kind of real quickly and then the blood rushes like to your head or out of your head or whatever, and then you're like, whoa, I see stars? That's what happened to me there. So your follow-up question was about God Bless Football. We had an episode come out today. There was a lot of people on it. We have maybe 2 episodes that are coming out later today, maybe not, possibly, and an episode tomorrow, Dan. So how about that? Are you excited about that? Have you listened to them? How has it gone?
I have listened to a lot. We're putting out a lot now, so it's a little hard to keep up. My favorite thing is just the number of people who think you're cool and Stugotz's jealousy of that, because he's obviously getting bothered by that. He came in there as the dominator of Radio Row, and you've taken some of his shine.
It seems like he's not happy for me, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, he says he is, but it seems like he may not entirely be happy when people say stuff like that. Like, Stefan Diggs basically said that I'm not cool, and that was the happiest that I had seen him in the last couple of days.
Well, what's happening with you two? Because it can be complicated trying to wrangle him, and then he gets mad because he's got to go get the fake Andy Reid for us because we're understaffed out there.
Here's the interesting thing, right, is that he keeps telling me, like, use this time to edit to get it out, but also I'm not going to be there for the interview. And I'm like, well, it's not exactly how it works. Someone's going to have to be here at the table to kind of help out with this interview, keep things on time, relay times, such and such, right? So if he's not here, I got to sit here, so then I can't do the editing. But now I just walked away to start interviewing people. He also, this is a spoiler alert, but I'll give it to you guys first because I like you, okay? He just told me that he got in contact with SVP. And I think that one of his tricks may have worked out for him. I guess we'll find out at 1:37.
Well, that private jet thing was unseemly for a lot of different reasons, not the least of which being that many people aren't even doing that anymore because of how reckless it is on the climate to be flying across the country because you can't get your schedule planned correctly and the amount of fuel that requires. Like, you're telling me that you think SVP has gotten him a private jet?
I don't know because I was talking crap about Lin-Manuel Miranda to Anthony Ramos at the time, so I didn't hear it. Yeah, it was going on.
He loved that. It was
honestly
that was his favorite
part.
part.
Table that's not ours. Yeah.
Anthony loved that so much because he's like, finally, someone who's willing to speak freely about Lin-Manuel. The whole thing's overrated.
If I don't make it home, you know why.
What have been the greatest frustrations this week with Stugotz?
He hasn't been bad. He's actually been good. He's showed up close to on time most of the days. He's done the interviews. You know, he's stuck around. He's recorded things. He's been helpful. There haven't been lots of things that he hasn't thrown a ton of wrenches in the way. There have been mentions of possible wrenches coming. Like yesterday, he wanted to go to the Waste Management Open, and he was going to go do that. And I was like, hey, you can go. But didn't go to that, didn't go to something else. Like, he's blown off all of the distractions that normally would take him away from helping with the productivity, which has been very good. I've been very proud of him in that sense.
And are you guys tired? Are you guys spent? You're done. You were done with Super Bowl week before you went out there. I can't even imagine the condition you're in now.
It's all adrenaline right now, Dan. As you can see, I'm doing very well speaking. I'm on adrenaline right now. I can't. I'm just trying to get to the second airplane because I have a connecting flight. So I need to get to that second airplane, and then I'll maybe relax when I get home. I mean, I'll relax when I lay down, but I'm just trying to get to that second airplane because I have a connection in an airport I've never been to. And the last time I had a connection, they moved the gate right next to the plane that I had, and I ran to the original gate across the airport, and I missed my flight, and I was stuck in Atlanta for like 2 days. So I'm trying not to get stuck in Houston tonight if possible.
2 flights, how dare you?
Yeah, geez. You don't care about the environment?
You're the reason why the sun's falling apart.
Oh. I mean, I should have done. You want to know something? When Stugotz was starting with this scheme of the private jets, he's like, "Don't worry, buddy, you got one too." And I'm like, "I do not have a private jet, Stugotz. Like, I'm not even going to."
Yeah, you guys
entertain
should
that
take
option."
different private jets.
Well, he's going to New York. He's being a good dad. You know what I mean?
Chris Cody just spit out whatever it is that he was eating or drinking, holding his face at the audacity of the lie to tell you, "Don't worry, Billy, I'm getting one for you as well."
Such a classic Stugotz line.
It's just so over the top. Like,
buddy, both of us, PJs.
I think he said Danny could come also,
but not Juju.
Well, Juju's going to Atlanta. Juju could come
Third
too.
PJ
but,
then.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you guys, given the opportunity, would take one. So
easily.
Yeah.
But do you think that Stugotz is going to deliver you a private jet? Do you think that this is what is
going on? Get out of here. I know he's not going to. Hey, Gary V's coming over here. There's no way he can lift me. Don't even do it. He's going to hurt himself.
Okay. Well, we aired because which way would that have gone if we had remembered to do it in the last segment?
Which way would it have gone?
Were you going to do it? Were you going to put him over your shoulder, or was he going to put you over his?
No, I hurt my back earlier in this week. I shouldn't have, so it's okay. Gary V's now doing another interview. Don't worry about that. It's fine.
That's all right. It's no problem. We'll see.
No, he's coming. He's coming.
No
He's just doing
problem. We'll get to him in a second. This will close out. We will peter out on what we're doing around here as we all stumble to the finish line. This guy never gets tired. It's his energy level is insane. I don't know what his sleeping schedule is. He's a bit of a lunatic. He's a business assassin, and I think you have to be crazy to be that kind of business assassin. So I will talk to him about the crazy that he is in a second, and we will try to wrangle Stugotz as well at some point here to close out the week. But Gary V is with us again, and it's good to see you, sir. Thank you for being on with us. You would agree, right, that you are a crazy person about business, obsessive compulsive, don't sleep, work all the time.
No. Real quick on that one. I sleep 7-8 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about that. It's not that I don't sleep. It's that when I'm awake, I go so hard, right? And so I think a lot of times when people think about people that are really going at it, they get a little confused that some of the things they're doing are, like for me, if I'm not sleeping that 7 or 8 hours, I'm not gonna really have the energy to go crazy the other 14, 15 hours. So that would be the one little slight tweak I would say on that end.
Have you tried to figure out a way to make content out of you sleeping?
That is a tremendous point. And I've thought about that quite a bit actually for TikTok, because I think it would be the kind of content that could work in that platform. So I appreciate the encouragement, because I'm going to do that.
Can I pitch you an idea? But
Yes.
like, if you figure it out, we can maybe throw a little bit my way.
Yeah, we could tag you up and maybe throw some royalties.
Yeah, here's what
here
I'm
we go.
thinking. Ads in dreams.
You know, it's funny. I was an early investor in Facebook,
Yeah.
Twitter,
Yeah.
Tumblr,
Mhm.
Venmo,
Mhm.
Uber.
Yeah.
That's one of the best ideas I've ever heard.
Thank you.
Now, can you show me how we'll do that practically?
Well, I'm getting into that. I'm figuring that out, but I feel like you're the guy to make it happen with me. You know what I mean?
I am very open to it. If we can start putting some pen to paper on that one, I think that is monetizable at scale.
Mm-hmm.
What is the biggest break of your career? What represents to you the luckiest you got?
No question, having the mother that I had. Like, in real talk. Like, I can talk about a keynote I gave in 2009 that no question had a huge impact on my career. But if you're really asking me to answer it, having a mother that held me accountable and didn't fluff me and say 8th place trophies are great, but also who built huge self-esteem in me because she focused on me being a good person, not getting A's in science, is to this second the reason I feel like all the good stuff that's happening to me is happening to me.
When you think of joy with work, what do you think of?
It's funny. It's funny where my brain just went. My brain went to, it comes so natural to me, and I wish that it came more natural to others, that they realize that it's really a bad idea to settle at the job that you're at, meaning you can quit and try to do something that you like. You can. And I think that that's what pops to my mind.
Dan, Rob Riggle's here. You friends with Rob Riggle?
No, but I know Rob, and it's super.
No,
it's great
come
to
on
see
over
you.
here, Rob.
Rob, get in here.
Join the party,
get
man.
In here, brother.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
All right.
Are you gonna sit on that? Rob, how are you?
Here.
Brother, it's such a pleasure.
Here, scoot over
Good
a
to see you.
seat.
Yep. Scoot over. Yep.
Yeah, give him that microphone.
Yep.
Here we go.
I'm sorry.
What do you mean sorry?
I'm not trying to interrupt you guys.
You didn't interrupt. You're contributing. He's got one.
I got him.
It's good.
I'm locked in
You're
here.
contributing.
Well, thank you. That's a really positive way to look at it.
I think so.
But I expect nothing less from you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
So it's just you and me now.
I like that.
All right.
Yeah.
So
What's going on with you?
God bless football, man.
It's my favorite. It is literally my favorite thing in the
By the way,
world.
this is an honor to meet you. I'm such a fan of yours, and
You're
I
very nice.
appreciate your work so much.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, really.
Thank you.
It's really cool to meet you, and
It's a pleasure.
I'm excited to meet you. Now, do you have a dog in this fight? I got to ask.
The only there are a couple dogs I have in the fight. One, my brother and I have a sports representation business.
Okay.
We rep a bunch of NFL players, and we get to know a lot of executives. I'm an enormous Howie Roseman fan. I think he's one of the best guys in the sport. He's brought a completely different football team now to his second Super Bowl, so I have a lot of respect for him. I'm also a diehard Jets fan. And the Chiefs don't necessarily bother me, right? They don't get in our way that much. We haven't crossed paths. They've been good when we've been bad, and vice versa.
Right.
But I will say I hate the Giants. As a Jets fan, I hate the New York Giants. So there's a big part of me that would like to see Philly win, because I know every Giants fan does not want that to happen.
So by proxy.
By proxy, I'm skewing Eagles because I love Howie Roseman, the GM, and I love the Giant fans having pain.
There you go. Okay, listen, that is a legitimate, honest answer.
That's my dog in the fight.
Yeah. And by the way, the Philly fans would say the same thing. They would have the same reasonings about the thing as you.
100%.
So
100%.
it feels justified.
I love it.
Yeah.
Here, you gotta ask Rob what he's promoting, and then Rob, you ask Gary what he's promoting.
Okay.
I love it.
I love it. We're gonna hit each other up on promotion, Gary.
I'll go first.
Okay,
I'm
dive in
promoting.
there.
I'm promoting nothing.
Good.
Zero promotion. I'm promoting people being self-aware and kind to themselves and fighting for happiness. That's what I'm promoting. What are you promoting, my friend?
God, I wish I was promoting that. That's the right thing to promote. No,
tell me, really.
On
Because, by the way, I'm a businessman. I like promoting things. It's just not where my mind is right
on
this
top
second.
of promoting what you're promoting as well.
Yes.
Because
In addition to,
I'm an ambassador for PXG golf equipment.
Yes.
And I love them because Bob Parsons is a Marine. I'm a Marine.
Love.
And so I appreciate the work he does when it comes to the golf stuff because I'm a golf junkie. I love golf.
How's your game?
My game's not bad. I'm a single-digit handicap. I'm on like a 9.
So my brother AJ got into it like 7 years ago from scratch. We'd never played. It wasn't our world. And he's really got into it. And I think he's a 7. And I think he told me yesterday that he had practiced with a pro at his new club. And they felt that after being with him a little bit that he could get to a 5 this year.
See,
Does that piss you off?
I'm happy for him, but it pisses me off a little bit.
Why are you a 9?
Because I didn't take a lesson until late in life.
How old?
I was 30. No, I was 41.
Yeah.
Late.
Yeah, late.
But I was playing since high school. So I was just,
Bad habits.
bad habits. I
Yeah.
reinforced all these bad habits. Then I got so bad that I was like, I got to take a lesson or quit. Took a lesson. And thank God I did because it reinvigorated my love for the game. And so, anyway, so I've been playing PXG, but they got a new golf ball, my friend.
Tell me more.
They got a new golf ball. It is one of the best on the market. It just came out this week. It tests as well as any top brand. You know, think of the number 1 brand, right? They meet all the testing of that. So it's a great golf ball. Very excited for them.
How many people blame the ball or the club or the
better you get, the more you blame the ball.
Interesting.
Now the less experience you have,
You don't even realize it.
No, and you always blame the clubs, and it's the archer, not the arrow, right? That's what they always say.
100%.
And then if we're all being honest with ourselves, that's what it really comes down to.
Well, that's exactly where I was going.
Yeah, but if you're a good enough golfer, then the little things matter. The clubs, the ball, those things matter. If you're a straight amateur, none of that stuff matters. It's your swing. Trust me, it's your swing. But if the better you get, the more those little things can help.
I like that.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite golfer on the tour right now?
Jordan.
Love him.
Jordan Spieth. I love his attitude. I love his mentality, his attitude. I like the way he approaches his personal life, the way he greets and interacts with people. Love it.
I love that. I love that. And what about dog in the fight for you? Who do you think's winning this game?
I was born and raised in Kansas City.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a lock. It's done.
All right.
It's done.
What was the hardest loss for you as a Chiefs fan ever?
Ever?
Ever.
This was back in the early 90s. We were playing Miami in a playoff game.
I remember that game like yesterday.
Nick Lowry missed the field goal at the end.
I remember.
And I was on a ski trip in Winter Park, Colorado, and it kind of ruined the rest of the trip. Because at that point I was still holding on too tight. I was holding on too tight.
Yep.
And it really, because I had visions in my head.
And they had lost a heartbreaking playoff game in the 70s, I think, or 80s as well. Like, that game I remember vividly.
Yes.
That was I also remember, correct me if I'm wrong, the Colts beat them in that hard
Recently,
right?
yes. And we
no,
were
no,
up,
not that one. Not the
when
Andrew
we were up
Luck.
by like 21?
Yeah, not Andrew Luck.
Yes.
I'm talking about.
Oh, we had, yes, that was the
remember?
year we were supposed to go to the Super Bowl. We
You
had
were
home field advantage.
That's right,
throughout
13-3.
13-3.
They were like 9-7. Right?
And then they
I
came in
remember
and
that
they beat
one.
us at Arrowhead.
I remember.
And I remember thinking when I watched that, because that was like 95, 96, 97, something like that. And I remember watching it thinking, well, they're at Arrowhead. We got this. This is our year.
Yeah.
And it was snatched away from us.
I remember that game. I think you were 13-3.
Yeah,
you guys
we were
really good.
We were. And it cut like a knife. And I think I listened to Bryan Adams cut like a knife on a loop for an entire week. It was bad.
I love it. It's great to be with you guys, really.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, God bless football. And I love the sign, by the way. This is great. And Gary, it's so nice to meet you, man.
Such a pleasure, my friend.
It is
Continued
a pleasure.
success.
Absolutely.
Real
Right
pleasure.
back at you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
I gotta run. Awesome.
Thank you guys.
Of course.
All right. We're good. Thanks.
Yeah, if you're good with the plug.
Yeah, I'm good.
Awesome.
Such an honor, man. Really, it is.
Success.
Yeah, great to see you. Right back at you, and I hope to bump into you again. This is my girlfriend, Tasha. She's going to do so.
I'll spend all night out in Venice, then make castles in the sand. Santa Monica's calling, but I'm here to cover the Rams. I'll stay in and avoid chateaus. If I booze, then I'm on Skid Row. Just one drink to begin, not like that's a big sin. Just one beer, then we're gonna go to the Super Bowl.
Now, Mike, you know we're here to cover the big game. It's a time to be professional and avoid all the temptations the City of Angels may have to offer. Ain't that right, Justin Kane?
That's right. We're just here to ask quirky questions to grown men wearing their full uniforms without pads in a convention hall.
Oh my God, is that George Clooney?
Baby, one scotch at the Roxy.
Come on now.
One shot at whiskey, a go-go.
There we go. Now we're drinking to avoid temptations, but a job to do. Professionals with a drink or two. Just a thimble of gin, and then I'll be locked in. After gin, then we're gonna go to the Super Bowl. To the Super Bowl. Super
I mean, we have been lucky.
A great visual joke.
Just awesome.
But visually only is the audience that is only consuming this by audio Is it confused at what just happened there?
We went to lunch during that. For the
I
people
needed
only
that.
listening.
I needed the food. Thank you, Rob Riggle.
How did Rob Riggle? I can't believe that it's Friday and Roy's still trying to eat off his hangover from the weekend.
I'm getting there. I'm recovering.
I think I know exactly how that happened. Gary Vee is just this chummy guy where he can say hello to you with his eyes. And he must have just said hello to Rob Riggle during that interview to the point where he's just like, I got to go say hi to him because Gary Vee's he's a people person, man. If he sees somebody, he could say hello to you from across the room with just a nod.
I had so many business questions for him. I actually think his story is interesting, and I think that he's got sort of, if you care about that stuff, a lot of people would go the other way on this and say that our relationship in America and around the world with work is unhealthy. It's extreme, and we need more life balance than that. But I think people would have liked to hear from him, not on his Eagles thoughts when asked by Rob Riggle, but expertise in his field. But instead, you just got to hear two celebrities meet each other at a cocktail party, and Rob Riggle went straight into hosting a sports show.
I love the awkwardness of like 10 minutes in of like, wait, it's just us now.
So did Billy. I gathered that Billy enjoyed that awkwardness as well. Riggle sat down without knowing where the hosts were, not understanding what he sat in the middle of, and yet effortlessly started making content, not conversation. Asking Gary Vee for do you think it's something that happens at Radio Row that you just get infected with? I've got to ask somebody what they think about the game.
Yeah, I mean, you look around and there's giant NFL logos everywhere, and you're theoretically there for the Super Bowl, but realistically, you're mostly chatting about nonsense most of the time. But then you see the logo, you're like, oh yeah, football. I mean, the show is called God Bless Football. There's a giant crystallized football behind them. You're like, oh yeah, we should talk about the game.
And
Sports.
there's no more Super Bowl Radio Row way to ask it than, I believe he said, do you got a dog in the fight?
Yeah. Horse in the race.
That is how chummy older golf buddies would talk, correct? Like if you were meeting someone at the country club and you were trying to appear more down than you actually are, do you have a dog in the fight is the way that you would ask that in the locker room at the golf club wearing only a towel. If you're old and on the corners of celebrity.
Super Bowl week, man. How was it? I loved it this week.
Are they gone? Are Billy and Stugotz now gone? They have to get to the airport
to the PJ,
because
yeah.
I want that end of that story. There have to be so many good stories involving whatever that was. Stugotz trying to get a private jet to Syracuse because again, the Super Bowl snuck up on him. It's not,
Yeah. And his kids' lacrosse season snuck up on him. You'd figure that would be planned well in advance.
You would. But that's not the way Stugotz does business. One of the reasons, and I wish, unfortunately, at the end there, when Myles Garrett picked Billy Gill up, I have my regrets about not interacting a little more with Radio Row this year. But I assure you that what Billy and Stugotz have made for God Bless Football, if you can consume a ton of material, you will get a lot intravenously, because we didn't actually talk about the game. Mike was right earlier this week when he said it's a really good game. It's a good football game to talk about. I have no idea if you just short circuit Mahomes somehow because the Eagles have an elite defensive line that sacks the quarterback, and they've been overwhelming this year. They could win. They feel like the team that won with Nick Foles at quarterback, a backup that Jalen Hurts is getting a lot of credit and should, but football's being made easy by this cement truck that just can grind away a Giants defense 6 yards a carry, and I don't know if Kansas City can stop that. I think we're all rooting for, throw it in the 30s. Throw the game in the 30s and have it be an offensive fun fest.
See, was that so hard?
We did it.
It took us a minute to get there. And I'm only doing it at the end of the week by way of punctuation because I hate this week.
What's the single biggest thing the Chiefs have to do to beat the Eagles?
Do you have an answer for that?
No, I'm asking you.
Did
we're a couple football guys.
Did we forget to do that?
Let's redo the week.
Do you have a dog in this fight?
Yeah. I think I'm rooting for the Chiefs because I got a load of futures on them.
I think also we want to root against Eagles fans.
They don't bother me so much. And it's going to be a great matchup. The 4 final teams that were still alive come championship weekend, all the Super Bowl lines were between 1 and 1.5 in pick'em. And you were guaranteed a great matchup. And right now, according to our friends at DraftKings, I think it's Eagles minus 1.5.
It's crazy how much that stayed put, considering the amount of action that is going to come in on the game. That line has not flinched from 1.5 in the last week.
I've got concerns that a less mobile Patrick Mahomes against that pass rush may be a difficult obstacle for the Kansas City Chiefs. Andy Reid's been there before. This is the first time for Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, but that is a really good offensive line. Will Chris Jones do the thing that Chris Jones always does late in the games, which is just remind you that he should be talked about way more? Can he do that late in the game against the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line?
The Eagles in 2023 are winning with a style of football that is a bit different than everyone else is. They are saying our defensive line is going to dominate you and get more sacks than a defensive line since the 90s, and we're going to also bludgeon you on offense with our offensive linemen because Lane Johnson never allows a sack ever, and Jason Kelsey is evidently, even though we don't know how to measure centers, is all-world at blocking, and they're overwhelming. So I can't give you a greater tribute to how overwhelming they are on the offensive and defensive lines than Patrick Mahomes is an underdog in a Super Bowl. I mean, they were an underdog against the Bengals, and then that line moved as his health shifted. I don't know what kind of Mahomes you're going to get, but you cannot give the Eagles a greater compliment than the Chiefs are a dog in a Super Bowl. Like, how? In what world are the Chiefs a dog? They've been the most overwhelming thing in the sport for 5 years, whether they've won at the end or not. They can repeat consistent offense, whether they have Tyreek Hill or not. They've got a quarterback for 10 years, and it wasn't but 2 years ago that Chris Jones and Tyreek Hill were saying we will win 6 or 7 or 8 championships. They're a dog.
Now, Dan, I'm so happy that we finally talked some football, and we've talked precious little football all week, but we have done a lot of commerce all week. But mostly for other people. We've allowed other people to come on this show and do commerce on their own behalf. I feel like it's time that we do commerce on our own behalf because we got some things to talk about. One, of course, is the high-stakes beer ad that Miller Lite and Coors Light are doing during the Super Bowl with our friends at DraftKings. They're presenting their big game ad from the number of beers to the number of people with facial. You can play in a free prediction pool and win a share of real money from a record-breaking $500,000 prize pool. It's the largest free-to-enter pool in DraftKings history. Just download the DraftKings app or head to DraftKings.com/high-stakes-beer-ad to make your picks. Then watch, of course. The big game hasn't tasted this great in 30 years. Pick up some Miller Lite for game day. And don't forget to make your picks at DraftKings.com/high-stakes-beer-ad. I hear that I'm not the only one that's got some commerce in my hands.
Commerce. Thanks for throwing it to me, Woody. So basically, Tony and I have been having this debate off air for a few weeks now. Because Tony's, we've been joking in the back that Tony, no one has more confidence than Tony.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of moving parts back here. But anyways, Dan, do you think that Tony is closer? I want to actually ask Tony this. Do you think Tony is closer to me as a basketball player or an NBA player on the scale?
That's a great question.
Let's take Gabe Vincent, for instance. Let's just pick an average NBA player.
You by a lot. I think Tony over
Dan. Dan, there's something weird about our relationship, you and I, that you underestimate me very much so. And you know what? It's okay. One day, me and you'll get out on the court and we'll play a little bit and be like, man, you know what? Tony's really good.
So you would
hoops.
answer that question? I'm closer to Gabe Vincent than Chris Cody when it comes to basketball skills.
Yeah, I'd say I'm closer to Gabe Vincent. On the spectrum of Gabe Vincent and you, I'm closer to Gabe Vincent than I am to you.
Tony, I do not, please, I want to make this clear. I do not underestimate you as a basketball player. I want to make this very, very clear. I underestimate you as a person. And the reason is because your judgment is so flawed that this is not an indictment of your basketball. You simply don't understand how good.
I understand. Dan, I actually have, funny enough, me and Chris were talking about it earlier this week. I actually have a top 5 list of the best players I've ever played against.
Oh.
I feel like you'd be interested in reading that.
I would not be.
Too bad. I think we're going to do it. 'Cause we need a top 5, don't we?
You'd be wrong. I'm not interested. That we need a top 5 does not answer the question
Number
of am I
Number
interested?
5, former Florida State great or Carl White. Had a windmill slam in a high school game versus our team. One of the guys ate that one. It was incredible. It was really good. Long electric forward. Number 4, rest in peace, Fab Mello. Massive. He was almost bigger than the basket. Like, you would stand in front of him, and it would cast a shadow from how big he was.
I mean, 7-footer.
It was huge.
He's a giant
Anchor
person.
on a 2-3, man. You could not see the hoop.
Anchor on his sneakers as well.
And rest in peace.
Jeez, man.
Number 3, Heat legend, Yakuba Diawara. Yakuba was amazing. He was so good. Nobody has anything for Yakuba Diawara?
I mean, that's a great name. That name makes me smile.
But does you having played with these guys doesn't make you any closer to Gabe Vincent?
No, it does, because I've played against people that played in the NBA where you haven't played basketball ever.
Travel League, 11 and under.
Number 2.
Number 2, Puerto Rican great Carlos Arroyo. At 40 years old, this is what the part that, Dan, I understand because I've been in those situations. Carlos Arroyo at 40 years old will walk into any gym and bust everybody's ass.
That is correct.
Like, he averages 40 points a game in the best leagues in Miami without trying.
I have certainly people listening to this have had this thought. It must be so fun to walk into a Flagami gym as Carlos Arroyo.
Yeah. In a Rolls Royce, by the way.
To go to Tamiami and like everyone's like, well, that guy, everyone else looks like that guy. Everyone else here, my mechanic, everyone,
my barber,
everyone I've ever grown up around looks like this person, but he's better at basketball than anyone I've ever met.
Excellent. Number 1, Tim Hardaway Jr. Had 45 in the district championship game, was unstoppable. I think John Beelan was in the crowd that game, so very exciting.
So thanks to Dollar Shave Club, Tony and I are going to see what's what here. We're going to see if he's closer to me or an NBA player.
I don't believe you. Tony's supposed to shoot with Kate Fagan. That I haven't seen that happen yet.
I am here waiting.
Agreed. I understand that you.
I have.
He can
that
see you.
Beacon of light has been shown to the planet. Hey, I'm here with a ball in hand, waiting for people. If people don't want to come and see me, that's the problem.
All right, how about
it's
this?
Not them.
Tony and I compete first. Winner plays Kate next time around.
If she wants that smoke, sure.
I've been waiting for a year for him to shoot against Kate. A year.
Pero yo estoy aquí.
Okay, gracias.
Pero he's here. He's here.
¿Qué tú quieres?
Here, wait.
Con balón aquí.
Here,
He's
waiting.
been here with a penis.
We are finished for the week.
Like comping?
No, not con pinga. No.
Oh, okay.
Chris, come on.
De pingao. That's it.
Closer.
No.
I love Spanish.
I'll spend all night out in Venice, then make castles in the sand. Santa Monica's calling, but I'm here to cover the Rams. I'll stay in and avoid chateaus. If I lose, then I'm on Skid Row. Just one drink to begin, not like that's a big sin. Just one beer, and we're gonna.
Cocaine-fueled bears.
Oh, Jesus.
Cocaine-fueled bears.
Oh, Jesus.
Cocaine-fueled bears.
Oh, Jesus.
Cocaine-fueled bears.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.